Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. Hey, family. Welcome to Magnus Crystal's Pyramids with our favorite goddess. Um, goddess. We beyond queens and kings. Goddess Mama Myrah. GMM Inc. And some. It's an honor to have you back. We're gonna have a good show tonight. Sister Myra, you put me in trance. I get cross-eyed and go into altered states,
Oh,
and then even my kitty cat just sat next to the laptop,
oh,
and
BWB, Black Woman Blushing.
no, oh, that is funny. I never heard that one. I gotta remember that one.
That's one of mine.
Black woman blushing. Oh yeah, we gonna have fun. And so, family, I just want to put the music on. I want to give a special acknowledgement to the digital artists that's rising up. They're creating a new, I don't know, what would you call it? Like a new service, a new business. I'll give a special acknowledgement to brother Mike, digital artist. He's creating AI movies and music, and a special acknowledgement to digital artist brother Mo, who wrote the song and created the song for you. So after we do the opening, he said, yo, bro, can you play my song, my
Oh
song
my
for
goodness.
Sister Myra? So family, we're gonna have fun tonight, but let's do the opening with the theme song, Magnets, Crystals, Pyramids. Sister Myra, we're gonna let you do your thing tonight. Here we go.
All right.
Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Welcome home, family, and join us for the fun. Colorful guests, people everywhere under the sun. Interesting conversations. Prayers first has begun. Invocation, manifestation, conversation, then will come. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramid. Let's start drinking some water, juice or tea. King Killer's recommended for you and me. Guayusa mixed together, maple syrup or honey. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramids. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramids. Learn from the healers, crystals, pyramid. Learn from the healers, the artists, the seers, authors and teachers, dissolving your fears. Workshops of wisdom, the circle is wide. Plant medicine whispers, the planets align. All magnets, crystals, pyramid. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramid. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramid. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramid. Crystals and pyramids, magnets that spin. Organ awakening the power within. Tantra and herbs, the gateways ignite. Shamanic drums calling truth into light. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Psychedelics painting vision so bright. Planetary activists guarding the night. Awareness expanding the cosmos in view. Higher vibrations are flowing through you. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Hey. Magnets, crystals, pyramids. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramids. Oh, magnets, crystals, pyramids.
Okay.
Wonderful introduction.
Thank you. I'm excited because I just downloaded a tribute to you, Sister Myra. I guess this is a visual, acoustical, happy birthday to all your nieces and nephews and your goddaughters and your godsons, and a special acknowledgement again to digital artist, Brother Mo, and also Brother Mike. So let me see if I can pull it up here. And then we're going to do the real quick invocation. But let me make sure I just do this right. But family, this brother wrote, he created it's beautiful. It's a beautiful song. No, it's a music video. So share screen. Let me see how I'm gonna do this video file. Here it comes. I think I found it. Yeah. All right. So y'all sit back and check this out. This is we're giving your flowers to you now, Sister Myrah.
We love you, Sister Myrah. We give gratitude on all of what you do. You show us how to walk in light and truth. Yeah, we love you. We give you your roses now so you can smell them. You taught us power not to wait for heaven to tell them. Said destiny ain't distant, it's already written inside. You just gotta push through guilt, fear, and pride. You said we rulers, not beggars on our knees. You said we divine, not bound by what we see. When the world builds dams to block our flow, you told express your spirit, let that cosmic energy grow. You healed your son without leaving your space. Tapped into the mother's force, that sacred grace. No flight, no money, just pure command. Spirit heard your voice and reached out his hand. We love you, Sister Myrah. You said fear, guilt, and doubt, the unholy three. Keep us locked in illusions, blind to what we be. You taught, let your spirit be your guide. When you walk with confidence, heaven walks by your side. Circle of fire, green candle for healing. Follow intuition, that's divine revealing. You said don't pray like a beggar, command like a queen. Set your energy right and watch what's unseen. When the call came through, you ain't break, you rose. That's that goddess power the whole world should know. You need to see faith ain't just words we speak. It's energy, intention, and the company we keep. Love you, Sister Myrah. We give gratitude on all of what you do. Show us how to walk in light and truth. Yeah, Sister Myrah. You said we already know our destiny. It's just fear that keeps us waiting. You said let spirit move through you. Don't doubt your power. Activate it. We love you, Sister Myrah.
That was fantastic. I'm just, oh my gosh, I'm over.
We love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's love songs for you.
Oh my. And this is my greatest reward. This is the appreciation, and the value of the work that I do. I mean, that's what goes straight to my heart. It's not the money, it's not the acclimates, it's not the notoriety. It's the fact that people are appreciating the information, and utilizing that information. So I'm touched to the bottom of my heart. I am touched. Thank you so much, family.
And I want to thank and invite our ascended master brothers and sisters. I want to thank and invite Yeshua, Black Madonna, Mother Mary, Mary of Magdalene. I want to acknowledge Asar, Set, Heteru, the goddess of love, because you definitely riding on the shoulders of the goddesses, Sister Myrah. Because some of our, in this crazy turtle island that we're experiencing now, some of us got things all mixed up. And so we need you to help clear the vision for the brothers and the sisters and in the days and tomorrows to come. So we thank and invite Imhotep, Ptahotep, Akhenaten. We thank and invite the latest Christ born in the Congo, Simeon Toko. We thank and invite White Buffalo Calf Woman, Jehudi. We thank and invite Saint Germain. We thank and invite Seraphis Bay. We thank and invite Master Himalaya, Lady Buddha. Lady Buddha is acknowledged in, I think, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand. And the male counterpart Buddha, Lady Krishna, Harriet Tubman, Mary McLeod Bethune, the goddesses of antiquity are living today through Sister Myrah and many of those who are listening. I want to thank and invite the forces of nature that live inside of us, Elegba, Oshun, Oya, Olokun, Shango, all that live inside of our pressure points. Obatala, Orumila, Ochosi. And we say, Ashe, Mahalo, Donada, Wado. So let it be spoken, so let it be done. We're going to let free flow tonight, Sister Mama, because I'm excited so much. I need to go get me a shot of water. I got to get me a cup of water. Let me make sure you drink your water, because we don't even know what you gonna drop on them. What spirit telling you, moving you? Tell us, Sister Myrah.
Come on now, whatever. I mean, I love questions. I really do. It focuses me because I'm a big picture person. So give me the focus.
Okay.
I bigger picture. And then I put the individual aspects in line with that, you see. So
I got one for you.
Okay.
Being that gold is over almost close to 5,000 an ounce.
Yes.
Do you ever remember folks doing using these two coat hangers? Oh, let me make my face a little bit bigger here. Using these coat hangers to find water underground?
Yes.
Sister Myrah, is it possible for us to find maybe gold? Some of us out there in the country find gold. Absolutely. And hear the gold holler from underground. Yes. And if so, tell us, because we need to find the gold and the silver, and if their ancestral energy, tell us, Sister Myrah.
Of course. I mean my thing is just put it out there, whatever you want. I mean, this is the phase we're in right now, and whatever you want to attract or draw to you, put it out there, because we've just completed a half of this operation where it's all been about sacrifice and struggle and what's been against us, the negative polarity. It's just the negative polarity. That's just the only way energy unfolds, through a negative and positive polarity. And you don't blend energy. So that means you got to complete one half at 180 degrees before you activate the opposite response in equal measure in return. And we just completed the half of sacrifice and struggle. And the negative polarity. And now we've hopped the fence to the spiritual half, the positive return. So everything, the script has flipped. So now it's time not to concentrate on the things that you fear or brings you to doubts or guilt. Now is the time to energize your focus in what you want to create in your reality, you see. So, and we do that through our imagination. So whatever it is that you imagine you want to draw to you in your reality, now is the time to start, utilizing that power and start drawing this to you. So imagining the gold and the silver that you want to come to you, and then let your spirit see. Now it's time to pass the baton to our spiritual half. Our spiritual half is the one that will do all the maneuvering. So, put it out to your spiritual partner, what you imagine that you want to create in your reality, be it gold, silver, peace, prosperity. I like to tell this story about this, spirit just brings me things. And this cartoon, we all know Homer Simpson. And in this episode, Homer Simpson finds a monkey claw. And he has 3 wishes. And the last wish, he wishes for a bologna sandwich. Everybody says, why would he waste his wish on a bologna sandwich? Well, we're now stepping up as the new rulers for the new Aquarian age. Evolution and its balance, because I only deal in wholeness, in balance of opposites, and its opposite is Leo, creative rulers. So the evolution of a new creative rulership out of the abuse of power to a humanitarian empowerment. So we're stepping up as the new rulers for the new Aquarian age. But you got to know that. Aquarius is the sign of I know. So we're stepping up as new rulers. If we're still wishing for money, a car, a house, a job, those are now bologna sandwiches.
Ooh.
Those are now bologna sandwiches.
That
now
is
we got
funny.
to step up to new universal values. These are things like prosperity, peace of mind, security, protection, joy, harmony. These are universal values that we now have to step up to as the new rulers for the new Aquarian age. These are the things that we now have to start energizing into our reality. You know, and if money, a car, a house, all that, that'll come with prosperity. It'll come with it, you see. We just been having our wish list too low, you see. It's time for us to step up to higher universal values. Get back into harmony with the universal flow of energy. We have been off kilter to that. Daughter Earth have been off kilter to the universal flow of energy based on the spiritual principles of righteousness. Now it's time for us to get back into conformity with that and start putting our wish list out, you know, at a higher level of vibration. And gold and silver has always been our means of, you know, prosperity. And so, yeah, you know, including that on your prosperity list, you know, is how we'll draw that to us. And we don't have to worry about how to figure out, you know, how to get it, you know, passing the baton to our spiritual partner, because we're now on a spiritual half of this operation. We've hopped the fence from the physical 180-degree completion to the spiritual balance of that, a reflection of that. So now it's time for us, you know, to put our wish list out there, and we got to lift up that wish list to higher values, universal values, and gold and silver. We are the golden people, you see, and gold and silver is part of the first thing that we can, you know, magnetize into our reality. So just put it out there to your spiritual partners, your spiritual half. That's your opposite sign, you see. You know, you, Brother Hank, you know, as Sagittarius, your opposite sign is Gemini. That would be your spiritual half. So put it out to your spiritual partner, your Gemini half, you know, together. You do the physical half through Sagittarius. Your spirit will do the spiritual half through Gemini.
Oh,
that's how you complete that first cycle, that first spiral. We only complete spirals for evolution. That opens up a vortex. 180 degrees on each half completes a 360-degree spiral, which opens up a vortex and gives you access to the next level energy vibration. Wow. So partnership with your own spirit, you know, in order to step into your wholeness or your individual wholeness, your individual Christhood, you have to be in balance with your spirit. And everybody gets into balance with their spirit through Libra. We just left Libra a few days ago. So everybody gets into balance with their spirit through Libra. Libra is the sign of partnership. It's the air sign. Anytime we're dealing with air, we're dealing with spirit. So your spiritual partnership with your own half, your spiritual half, and that brings you to your individual wholeness or your individual Christhood. And that's how you can energize and manifest into your reality what it is that you want to. Nobody has more power than you do to create your own reality. But you have to know that. Aquarian age, the age of I know. You have to know your power in order to activate your power. That is why the ancestors left us the message, know thyself. If you don't know who you are, then you're not, you see. If you know your power, that's how you activate it. You have to know it. So, y'all know my famous saying, hammer time. You can't touch this, you see. I know the source of my power, and I know I can't be touched because, I know who I am. I know my power, and I know that that's how I activate my power, by knowing it. So, yeah, whatever you want to manifest into your reality, that is how you step up in the knowing. You pass that baton to your spiritual half. Let your spiritual half be the one to figure out how to bring that to you. It will be the one to open up the energy for that to come to you, to manifest you. My spirit on that tip years ago, the gold and silver. So I'm very secure on that end at this point in time. Now everybody's talking about it. How much gold is going up and how much silver is going up. That's what you have to have. Well, my spirit had me on that tip years back. So
that's great. Yeah.
Yes. So that's the way to go, because the material kingdom is not going to last much longer. It's already fallen. It only has an illusion of value, but it's not real. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna be greedy. Then I'm gonna open up to all the questions, because you got a packed house of family here. Sister Myrah, family. Actually, let me say, share screen. An article from a Howard University scientist that says why grudges can give you cancer. And so this family, I guess I should put it in the link at the end of the show. But emotional states. So I want to ask you, Sister Myrah, how harmful or how beneficial? No, how beneficial is it to have the courage to forgive? What kind of magic or juju can happen to me or you when we learn the flaming fire of forgiveness? Because our folks have a problem forgiving.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. You know it.
Yeah.
As sure as we like scrambled egg and cheese, it's a challenge.
Absolutely. And forgiveness is definitely what we have to entertain is forgiveness, because what I've been finding, Brother Hank, is that energy unfolds, and you'll see the changes generationally. You see. So what you see in one generation may be more significant than after it's unfolded, and then we get to 3-4 generations down the line. There's a different connotation on everything according to how and what generation it unfolds through, you see. And so what may have been true about what was wrong in one generation then unfolds to a new meaning, a new conceptual meaning, because spirit don't work in fractions. It's like it builds, and it's a universal purpose being fulfilled. A lot of people understand that. We've been in the physical half of this operation, so we've only been seeing from the physical illusionary half of reality. But it's only the platform to set the stage for what has to unfold and the way energy unfolds through a negative and positive polarity. So it starts with the pain. No pain, no gain. Same extent the pain will be the same extent the gain. Or it's always the darkest before the dawn, which means you have to completely get through the worst in order to get to the best. My favorite is as bad as it's been is as good as it's about to get. So energy unfolds through a negative and positive polarity. That's the only way energy unfolds. And what we don't understand about that is that you have to complete one half at 180 degrees before you activate the opposite half in equal response, in equal measure. So we had to complete the negative polarity. We had to complete the sacrifice and struggle half, you see. That set the platform for whatever we've endured in the negative half of this operation is going to be an opposite reflection of what opens up in spiritual return and spiritual reward. So we had to go through that hardship. We've been the vessels of sacrifice and struggle, not just this lifetime, but through many, many lifetimes. And now the sacrifice and struggle that we've endured through many, many lifetimes is now being tallied up as an investment as to how much and what is now ready to pay off in opposite spiritual reward and spiritual empowerment, you see.
Well, you know what, Sister Myrah, you doing it again. It feel like my head feel like it's expanding like a beach ball. Anybody else feeling the energy from this? You know,
Wow.
while you talking, I'm just listening to you, and it feel like I feel like something's going.
Wonderful.
And I'm like, no, wait a second. I know I need to go get some water, but I can't just be the water. You know, go ahead, please.
But that is why you talked about forgiveness, you see, because what happened in the physical half, 180-degree physical half, you know, was the platform that was set, you know, for the unfolding of a holistic universal process, you see. So sacrifice and struggle, that has been the half we just completed. We just completed that half at the past winter solstice. We just completed that half. And now that's activated the opposite response in spiritual reward and spiritual empowerment. We just haven't seen, you know, it hasn't, energy unfolds. So right now, and this is what Scorpio, I've been telling everybody, Scorpio is where this is all going to come to a head. And we just got into Scorpio a few days ago. And that is because Scorpio is the energy of transformation, which means the death of the old for a rebirth of the new at a higher vibration. The old has to go in order for the new to blossom. So we've just completed the half of sacrifice and struggle and the death of the old for a rebirth of the new. So what we're seeing now is the evidence of the fall of a reality that has become fully corrupted in their abuse of power. And that's the only sin in the spiritual reality, is the abuse of power. It's opposite the physical, where there's a multitude of sins in the physical. There's only one sin in the spiritual reality, and that's the abuse of power. So the powers that have been have now reached their maximum 180 degrees of their corrupted abuse of power. And this is at a global level. See, we're dealing with a multitude of levels. We're not dealing with time. We're dealing with levels. And that first level is your own balance or partnership with your own spirit, where you come to your individual wholeness or your individual Christhood. That's the first spiral. You do the 180 degrees physical half, your spirit does the 180 degrees spiritual half. That opens up a vortex for access to the next level. The next level is a couple level. From the couple level, you open up that vortex to a family level. From the family level, you'll go to a community level. I'm talking energy vibrations, you guys. That's what I talk, energy. So the level, you get the family level. After the family level, then you ascend to a community level. And then from a community level, you go to like local, you'll do national, international, till we get to the global level. And the global level is the 180-degree maximum of the physical half in energy vibration, where the powers that have been have reached their maximum of their corrupted abuse of power at a global level, a global agenda.
Mm.
So we've reached the maximum of the corrupted abuse of power. The only sin in the spiritual reality is the abuse of power. So now this is why this always happens in the Aquarius age. We balance and we ascend and balance, ascend and balance, ascend and balance, ascend and balance until we reach the maximum at that 180 degrees. Then it's time to hop the fence to the opposite spiritual half. So we've reached the maximum of our physical corrupted abuse of power at a global level. That means all the systems of illusion have now become fully corrupted. You see, fully corrupted in their abuse of power. And we're talking religious system, we're talking political system, we're talking medical system, pharmaceutical system, entertainment system, educational system, news media, legal system. All these are the systems of illusion that have reached their maximum corrupted abuse of power at a global level. What we just went through in the last 4 to 5 years was the biggest evidence of that. And they do that through perpetuating your doubts, your fears, and your guilt. There's 2 criteria to stepping up as a royal ruler. Universe is not trying to save the world right now. It's trying to identify who qualifies to step up as a new righteous ruler for the Aquarian age. Who is a righteous ruler? And how they judge who qualifies to step up as a righteous ruler for the Aquarian age out of the abuse of power to a humanitarian empowerment. Aquarius is the sign of the humanitarian. So the Aquarian age opening up, the ancient rulers, our ancestors, are now passing us the baton as the new age rulers to evolve from a corrupt abuse of power to a humanitarian righteous empowerment. You see, that's what happens in the Aquarian age. So now it's time to step up to out of this corrupted abuse of power. And the way the universe judges who qualifies as a ruler, righteous ruler, is there's 2 things, 2 criteria that the universe is going to judge you by in this. Number 1, you have to be secure from within. You have to be secure from within. Earth element and water element are internal. Earth is your security, water is your emotional happiness. So spiritual energy moves inside out, not outside in. That means what we send out. We're energy transmitters as well as receivers. But it's what we send out as to what we spiral back. Spirit is spiral. If you're sending it out at 20%, you're going to spiral it back at 20%. If you're sending it out at 80%, you're going to spiral it back at 80%. So that's the first thing you're judged by. Are you secure from within in your value and self-worth, you see, which is Taurus energy. Taurus is the sign of value. Earth and water are internal. So being secure in your value from within, Taurus energy. When you're secure in your own value from within, then that takes you to the next earth sign. Earth is security. Earth is value. Virgo, where you now cleanse and purge and purify of false values to the matrix or the illusion. Unplug from the matrix and heal in your wisdom. Virgo is the sign of wisdom. And it's actually the turning point. where we turn the corner to the ultimate earth sign, Capricorn, where you step into the character and the security of your value as a high priestess or a high priest. The highest earth sign, earth is value and security. So that is how, and you have all the energy in you, all the energy in you. When you talk about your Sagittarius, when I talk about my Capricorn, we're only talking about our sun sign. Our sun sign is what we come into each lifetime to focus through. The sun is always focus. The sun is always exposure. So what did you come into each lifetime to focus and expose when it comes to your energy? You see, that's your sun sign. But you have all the energy in you. And your job is to balance all those energies, to balance. The ultimate balance, the two halves make a whole, 180 degrees. So becoming secure in your value so you can send that from the internal, my security, and you're not looking outside of yourself through your ego and be manipulated by your ego to be used as a tool against this royal purpose. So that's the first thing the universe is going to gauge. Are you secure in your own value from within? And then the second criteria that is going to judge you by is how are you going to use that power? I don't care how much power you're given. Are you going to use it? Are you going to use it abusively, or are you going to use it righteously? That's the second criteria that the universe will judge you by. Are you secure from within? And are you going to use your power abusively or righteously? That is how you qualify as a new ruler for the new Aquarian age. It's a new rulership that's opening up, where a new energy vibration of righteous spiritual rulership is what's going to become the dominant rotation. We've been in the opposite, physical, corrupted abuse of power, egotistic. And this is what the universe is trying to guard against, as it's time for us to step up to our new reality. There's two stars of this show. You have the earth element, which is the daughter component. I just gave you the cycle from Taurus, self-security, self-value, to Virgo, cleansing and purifying, and then healing in your wisdom in order to turn the corner to the integrity and the character of the Capricorn. That's the daughter component. The other star of this show is the fire element, or the sun component. You see, the air is the father component, righteous father spirit, and the water is the mama component, mama universe, the mama of antiquity, mama soul. That is the parents. So the whole thing is to lift up the daughter and the son. They're the physical aspect of this. Mama universe and father spirit are the parental higher vibrations. And now we're going to deal with how do we lift up the son and the daughter, the fire and the earth. Now with the fire, we're dealing with, rather than starting with Aries in the physical rotation, we would go Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But when we're going to do a spiritual reflection, we're going to reverse that. Spirit is opposite the physical. You always got to remember that. It's always about the balance of opposites. Spirit is opposite the physical. So now we're going to reverse the rotation. We're going to start with Leo. Leo is the energy of creative powers. All fire is creative power. But Leo is where you identify your own personal power of creativity. That is the power that's going to blossom now. As the material kingdom falls, simultaneous, as the spiritual kingdom, physical kingdom falls, the creative kingdom will rise. See, simultaneous.
You got some pretty fingernails there, Sister Myrah. Go ahead. I'm watching you. I'm watching those candy apple colors.
Quit it. Yeah, I've always loved my red fingernail polish. I got away from it a minute.
I love it too.
Yeah, but my overall energy, what I call my signature energy, is Aries. So I got more fire in me than any other element, and I got more cardinal signs than any other mode. So the cardinal fire sign is Aries, which gives me an Aries signature, which is where my love for the red comes in at.
Well, we're loving it. The audience is lit.
So yeah, that's a simultaneous thing. So the creative, where you're creative at, is where you're going to blossom, and that's where you identify through Leo, where you're personally creative at. You see, and the planetary ruler of Leo is the sun. And I know I repeat a lot, but I have to build, because this is all a building process, you see, and it's layered upon layered upon layered. And I have to put, in context to where we're talking. So I have to go back to a lot of information that I've spoken on before. But the fire, your creative powers, and the planetary ruler of Leo is the sun. So we're actually looking at the resurrection of the sun into their individual creative empowerment, you see. And what they do is they resurrect. And remember, you have all the energy in you. I'm not talking male, female. I'm talking masculine and feminine, not male, female. And you have all of this going on within you. So when you resurrect into your creative powers, that takes you to the next fire energy of Aries. Aries is the most personal sign of the zodiac. And Aries is where you come to your full 360 degrees of personal power. A complete spiral, a complete full spiral of personal power of Aries. That's when you step up into your Haru. And the reason you come to your full 360 degrees of personal power in Aries, Haru, Mars energy, the activator, the trigger, is because I'm a holistic, which means I don't deal in 12 individual signs. I deal in 6 axes of energy. It's not until you put the balance between the two halves or the opposites together that you have the whole, or holistic. And if it's not whole, it's not real. Anytime you're looking at a part of the whole, that's the illusion. We've been in the illusion. And so Aries' opposite sign or balancing sign is Libra. Libra is where everybody gets into balance with their spirit. So that is why Aries is a natural holistic energy where you come to your full 360 degrees of personal power. It's the most personal sign of the zodiac. So coming to your full 360 degrees of personal empowerment, creative powers as Haru. Then the Harus all come together in Sagittarius. The full 360 degrees of personal power as the Harus then ascend into Sagittarius, the ultimate last fire sign, the ultimate sun of power. And the planetary ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter. Jupiter is the great beneficent. Everybody gets their blessings through Jupiter, the great beneficent. Everything Jupiter touches, it brings in abundance. The abundance, it enlarges. So, and since you get your blessings through Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planetary ruler of Sagittarius, that means you have to be very optimistic, because Sagittarius is an optimistic energy in order to tap into your blessings, or you'll go right up under it. So when you get all the Harus and the abundance of power, the last fire sign, the ultimate sun of power, that is where Sagittarius turns into a Sar. And that is why a Sar was cut down into 14 pieces by righteous Father Spirit, the father of righteous thinking. He is the one who had to cut the ultimate sun of power down into 14 cycles of time so he could mature in how to use his powers righteously without abusing them, the only sin in the spiritual reality. That is why Asar was cut into those 14 cycles of time by Father Time, righteous Father Spirit, the air element. And the last piece was the penis, the 14th piece, the penis, the power of collective resurrection into the abundance of empowerment out of the abuse of power to a humanitarian and righteous rulership. So your security, these two work together. They work together, these couples, the fire and the earth. The first couple, we had Aries and Taurus. That's our ancestors, our ancestor energy, the first original from the earth, the first couple, the first people that sprung from the earth, the first earth sign Taurus, and the fire Aries. That's the first couple of that fire and earth combination. Then it goes to Leo and Virgo. Leo and Virgo. That's the turning point. I've told people that's the role that was played by Trinity and Neo in the movie The Matrix. Leo and Virgo. First, Trinity resurrects Neo from the dead, or the illusion of power through his ego. Anytime you put Leo and Virgo together, you get the Sphinx, body of the lion Leo, the power, the head of the woman Virgo, wisdom. Power guided by wisdom. Power without wisdom is futile. Where you supersede the ego, Leo, and open the heart, also Leo, to the value of wisdom, Virgo. Power without wisdom is futile. So this is where, in the movie The Matrix, they take Neo to the Oracle. He's trying to identify himself as the one through his ego. And he's doubting himself. And that's why the Oracle said, no, you're not the one. And then she points to the sign above the door that says, know thyself. If you don't know you're the one, then you're not the one. You don't know you're the one, you're not the one. Aquarius and Leo. Aquarius, I know. Leo, creative powers. I know I am a creative ruler in order to activate that power. If you don't know it, you don't have it. Okay? That was the whole thing with the Oracle telling Neil he wasn't the one because he's trying to see that through his ego. And that is where the doubts, fears, and guilts come in at. That undermines the vibration. But Trinity knew. Trinity knew because Mama, the water element, the love factor, Mama of antiquity. She's the mama of ancestry, antiquity. She's the ancient of ancients. Everything started matriarchal. All energy came matriarchal. Black mama universe. And that is why our ancestors came out as the original rulers with powers. They could fly. They could breathe underwater. They could talk telepathically with the plants, the animals, the universe, each other. We still have those powers, but Mama dictates the subconscious realm. Spirit is spiral, and it spiraled from the Mama of antiquity, where it went external and masculine, to the air and fire. See, the masculine half, external and masculine. So spirit is spiral. That's where we started dealing with the ego and the, and the illusion. So as it became external, but anytime we get into the Aquarius age, it's come back full circle to Mama again, to the matriarchal half. Now it's time to hop that fence to the matriarchal half again. You see, anytime we get into the Aquarian age. So Mama, she speaks to you internal through the water element, or how you feel from your ancient memory. She's the ancient of ancients, the mama of ancestors, antiquity, Mama tells us where we came from, our ancient family lineage, the subconscious, the entrance into our Akashic records and our ancient memory. So love, the water element, mama love, that's the one vibration that is never broken from antiquity to new age. Who you loved in antiquity is who you love in the conscious new age of Aquarius.
Wow.
That's just saying you carry that love vibration through many different lifetimes, many different bodies. You still carry the love all the way from antiquity to new age. So who you loved in antiquity, who you love today is who you loved in antiquity. You brought that love. You cultivated that love through many lifetimes. You had to cultivate it through an unequal balance, though. You had to do an unequal first before, as it unfolded. Some lifetimes you came together as mother and son. Some lifetimes you came together as father and daughter. This is the lifetime to come together as brother, sister, which is the mate level or the yin yang level, where the two halves have now become equal and now come together as one. 180 degrees on each half. Now they complete that full spiral, holistic. So this is the lifetime as the yin and the yang, where the twin souls, individual twin souls, now come together collectively as yin and yang, make that ultimate balance for that ultimate evolution. We've been ascending, but now it's time in the Aquarian age for evolution as the balance between that yin and that yang. The balance as the two halves, that love, have been cultivated in balance through many lifetimes. Now, this is the lifetime where they come into equal balance for that vortex and evolve to a new level in spiritual rulership in the Aquarian age of that humanitarian empowerment, Aquarius and Leo. So that is where you come together and balance that energy for this evolution of a new age rulership out of an abuse of power to a humanitarian empowerment. So the love, the reason Trinity was able to impart the knowing to Neil is because the oracle told her she was going to fall in love with a dead man. The oracle told her she was going to fall in love with the one. This is what Trinity says to Neil. I'm in love with you. That makes you the one. Now get your butt up. That is how she resurrected him from the dead, or the illusion of power through his ego. A man can't come out of the matrix in ego. So she resurrected him from the illusion of power through his ego to the source of his power, the love. And that is how in the second movie, The Matrix, now Neil brings Trinity back to life. Where Trinity kissed him external, he goes internal. And the first thing he does is he removes the bullet, which is the damage. And you're seeing that now because our men are finally coming back to the value of their women. You see, we're now starting to see that because this is what Kendrick Lamar unleashed in his Super Bowl halftime ritual, the redeeming of the melanated woman, the Cinderella, the rejected stone, who becomes the cornerstone. It's in her rejection and redemption. The earth is transformed. Daughter Earth is the story of Cinderella at the planetary level of energy. Okay? So he goes internal and removes the damage by redeeming her value. Okay? And we're seeing a lot of that showing up now as he's redeeming her value. They even got the ketchup commercial, because this is all energy. Even the ketchup commercial now, with Heinz, where you have Etta James in the background singing the song At Last in a ketchup commercial.
Ain't that something?
Yes, that's the energy showing you at last. Because if you listen to the song Etta James, at last my king has come home. At last my man is coming back and to my value. No more lonely nights. Okay? So the redemption of the melanated woman by her man. So that is why that ketchup commercial is out there. So he removes the bullet, which is the damage, and then he goes back internal and he massages her heart. And she says when she opens her eyes, now we're even, which means now we're equal. Now we can come together as one. They're telepathically connected. She's in the background, the internal, giving him guidance through her Virgo wisdom. He moves out as the sun, Leo, and exposes the power guided by her wisdom, you see. So that is the role they played in the movie The Matrix. The first and second, those are the only two I found authentic. Those are the only two with the real oracle. And so that is the turning point. And you've been hearing a lot about turning point, you know, where your one boy got killed. He had the organization called Turning Point USA. That happened in Virgo. Virgo and Libra, the turning point, because Virgo is the last sign in the physical half of the operation. First 6 signs are physical, second 6 signs are spiritual. Neither one's higher or lower. That balance is the key to everything. Spirit needs a vessel just as much as the vessel needs the spirit. But from Aries to Taurus to Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo, you have the physical half, the first 6 signs. Then from Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, you have the spiritual half. So it's Virgo where we ascend. When we've cleansed and purified of false values, after we come to self-security from Taurus, from within, and we cleanse and purge and purify of false values through Virgo, healing our wisdom, unplug from the matrix, and now able to ascend above that horizon line from the physical half into the spiritual half through Libra. And having been cleansed and purged and purified through Virgo, we can now get into an equal and balanced partnership with our spirit, Libra. Come to our individual wholeness, our individual Christhood, you see. So the turning point, you see, the turning point between Virgo and Libra, those are really the Christ energy, ascending from the physical into the spiritual half, where you can now get into that balanced partnership with your own spirit, come to your individual wholeness or your individual Christhood. Then that takes you to the next energy of Scorpio. Scorpio is the energy of transformation. Scorpio is water, and Scorpio is the sign of bonding. So where the twin souls come together in Libra, but they each have to come into balance with their own spirit through Libra. You have to come into balance with your spirit through Libra. Your mate has to come into balance with their spirit through Libra. Only then can you come together as twin souls. When you're both each in balance with your own spirit, come to your individual wholeness. That is how you then bond as twin souls through Scorpio. Scorpio is very intense, very extreme. So the extremity and the intensity of that bonding through Scorpio, water is love. Mama's love, the water element, Scorpio. The intensity and the extremity of the bonding of the love of the twin souls is what activates that transformation, which the Mayans call the great crossover, and it crosses you over to the great creative place of Sagittarius, where you step up to the abundance of that collective empowerment. And as Sagittarius comes to the ultimate sun, comes to his ultimate power, proving he will use that power righteously and not abuse it. That's when he gets ordained with his ultimate power, that Jupiter energy. And that is when he, the sun, then redeems the value of daughter earth or daughter character, Capricorn energy. They come together at the winter solstice. That's the ultimate couple. The turning point, Sagittarius and Capricorn. Daughter earth, the rejected daughter, the Cinderella, the fallen daughter, being rejected in her value, now being redeemed in her value. Now we're equal. Like Trinity said to Neil, now we're even. Now we're equal. Sagittarius and Capricorn, the culmination and the fulfillment, where the ultimate son now comes to his ultimate power, proving he'll use that power righteously without abusing it, redeem the value of the daughter character, integrity and character, redeeming character, okay? So that is how we get the culmination and the fulfillment of this universal purpose, lifting the fallen daughter and bringing the ultimate son to using that power righteously without abusing it. And the main way that he was abusing his power was not seeing the equal value of his woman, because the men were wounded in their ego, thinking themselves higher than their woman, and the women were wounded in their insecurity, being put at the bottom of the totem pole in their value in the physical illusion. She is the energy of character, and we've been in the land of illusion. Character is not respected in the land of illusion. That is why she was denied her value and put at the bottom of the totem pole in her value in the physical illusion, because Capricorn is the energy of integrity and character, but it's also the energy of rejection, and it represents the ultimate daughter. So being rejected in her value, as we've been in the half of the illusion, where she is the energy of character. And the reason she's the energy of character is because her planetary ruler is Saturn. He's the father at the planetary level, the Lord of Karma. Saturn is the one who chastises and challenges and restricts all of us, just to see if you're going to overcome those restrictions, limitations, by staying true to your integrity and your character, Capricorn energy. So that is why all the other signs could run up that mountain. Well, Capricorn had to climb up sure foot and steady, because the minute she abused her integrity and character, her planetary ruler, Father Saturn, would immediately chastise her. But by the time she reached the top, the others were falling down. She built a proper foundation to stay up there for good, as the energy of the high priestess, the princess of the royal family. We've had the prince, Aries, the cardinal fire. We had the queen, Cancer, the cardinal water. We had the king, Libra, the cardinal air. The only one who hadn't reached her royal status, the cardinal earth, Capricorn, the daughter component. It's not Mother Earth, it's daughter Earth, Mama Universe, and daughter Earth. This is a family energy through the four elements. The air element, righteous Father spirit, the spirit of righteous thinking. Collective, spirit is collective. So a collective righteous thinking is the Father's role as righteous Father spirit, the masculine half. Then also masculine external, the fire, the sun component. And he is the one who has the passion to defend righteousness. As you look at Aries and Libra, the balance between Aries and Libra. Aries the warrior, Libra the peacemaker. Separate them, Aries kicking butt all over town, Libra with no backbone trying to keep the peace. Not until you put the two together. You have a warrior who takes a stand for justice or fights for righteousness, fights for peace. When you balance Aries and Libra, a warrior for justice, taking a stand for righteousness, fighting for peace. So that's the balance. You know, anytime you're looking at part of the whole, that's the illusion. So it has to be holistic in order for it to be real. Spirit don't work in fraction. It's not going to prove what it's doing until it's ready to fulfill what it's doing.
You inspired me to share this song.
Okay.
and it's about forgiveness, but it's a duet of a man and a woman singing forgiveness, and it seems appropriate,
Yes.
Sister Myra. So I'm
Yes.
going to share this, and uh, I hope y'all can appreciate this. Um, Here it comes right now. Let me just turn it on for y'all.
Okay.
Open upon open upon open upon I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. My heart is heavy, painful memories that haunt my mind all day and night. I didn't mean to hurt you, let me wash it all away and make our hearts feel like I'm sorry, so sorry, so sorry. Please, please forgive me. I love every you, I love you, I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ho'oponopono, Ho'oponopono, Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. My heart is heavy from painful memories that haunt my mind all day and night. I didn't mean to hurt you, let me wash it all away and make our hearts feel like I'm sorry, so sorry, so sorry. Please, please forgive me. I love every you, I love you, I love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Mm-hmm. 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 Ho'oponopono, Ho'oponopono, Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. My heart is heavy from painful memories that haunt my mind all day and night. I didn't mean to hurt you, let me wash it all away and make our hearts feel like I'm sorry, so sorry, so sorry. Please, please forgive me. I love every you, I love you, I love you so much. So
Wow.
Yeah, because you're magical, Sister Myra. It felt like you was working on our ethereal water
Yes.
that emulates through all the signs.
Yes. Through all the
Does
signs.
that make sense? What I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yes.
Wow.
All the signs. Holistic. That full balance, 180 degrees on each half. coming together in a full 360-degree, holistic, universal purpose being fulfilled. You see.
Please continue. I got to get me a cup of water because you taking me somewhere else. You're doing something to my chakras.
Oh, wow.
And it's a good thing, but I making me thirsty.
But that song was very much appropriate, you see, for what we're talking about here. And especially as you talked about forgiveness, you see, starting off with that forgiveness, you see, because, with how I got onto Kendrick Lamar in the first place. I have this thing with Marvin Gaye, and when Kendrick Lamar did his Heart Part 5. He used Marvin Gaye's song, I Want You. So everybody and their mama sent that to me because they know my obsession with Marvin. And that's how I got introduced to Kendrick Lamar, Heart Part 5. And his Heart Part 5 was actually talking about this ancient energy vibration called the Tetragrammaton. And the Tetragrammaton talks about the father, the mama, and the son comes together to raise the fallen daughter. And this is what, I don't even know if Kendrick was aware of it or not, but that is what he symbolized in his Heart Part 5, the Tetragrammaton. And, he started off he did the physical half. And in the physical half, he described what it's like to grow up in a culture that has been generationally wounded and how those wounds have been generationally passed down. And he started Heart Part 5 with a message in the beginning. And the message was, I am, period, all of us. So he was bringing the two, the individual in balance with the collective. I am, all of us. And what he did was focused on LA or Compton to demonstrate how we've all been wounded as a culture, how all of us have been wounded as a culture, but he used Compton as the focal or the exposure. So he used LA figures. And this was the video where Kendrick did the deep fake. And I learned a lot from this because, so he starts off talking about the issues of being in a culture that has been wounded generationally and how those wounds have been passed down and the turmoil you have to go through in this culture. And what he did was the first person he morphed into was O.J. Simpson. And what he was doing was showing how we had been generationally wounded, when we talked about forgiveness, because what may have been bad in one generation, has now expanded where, it doesn't mean the same thing in this generation that it meant then. Because the reason he used O.J. Simpson as the first deep fake was because O.J. Simpson was the first generation where men, high profile men, LA, left the value of their woman for a non-melanated woman. O.J. was the first one to really expose that, you see, in that generation. Then the next person he morphed into, and this is on the physical half, how we were wounded. Then he morphs into Kanye West, because Kanye West generation was the next generation that showed the abandonment of their woman for another race of woman. After Kanye West, he morphed into Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett was the one who, he claimed to have been lynched in Chicago, and everybody knew that was a fake, where he got found out that he faked the whole lynching thing, and he was gay. So he's just demonstrating how the men in that next generation abandon their women for homosexual relationships. Then the last person he deep faked into was Will Smith. Now, Will Smith is still with his woman, but, it's not working. They're not getting along. It's not working out. And how Kendrick explained that, he said, we've been generationally wounded. We've all been hurt. Hurt people hurt each other. We've all been hurt and we're hurting each other. That is how he explained the Will Smith generation of our wounding as a couple, as yin and yang, coming into balance. How we got separated as a couple, as that fire and that earth component. And so as he demonstrated that, then he segues. Now it's called Heart Part 5, and he's emulating the heart. He's got a red background, he's, and he's pulsating like a heart. And he then segues into the spiritual half. He says, drop the drums, which means drop the heartbeat, as he segues into the spiritual half of this presentation. And on the spiritual half, the first thing he says is, we're not going to be able to pass this wound to the next generation. And that's what happens when we get into the Aquarian age. We've evolved and we evolved. And when we get into the Aquarian age, the buck stops here. We're no longer going to be able to pass those generational woundings to the next generation. So it's time now for the buck to stop here. So when he gets into the spiritual half, he says, we're no longer going to pass this wound to the next generation. Now he's dealing with our spiritual component, our spiritual half. Now he's bringing the spiritual men to the table. The spiritual men, in the larger scheme of things, the spiritual man is the father. The physical man is the son, in the larger universal scheme of things. So now he brings the spiritual men to the table. He's already brought Marvin Gaye. His song is singing, I Want You. And the song is about our men redeeming the value of their women. And that's why he used Marvin's song, I Want You. But I want you to want me too, just as much as I want you. The balance. Okay? So he's already introduced that spiritual man, Marvin. Remember, he's dealing LA figures. And then he brings in Kobe Bryant. He morphs into, or deep fakes into Kobe Bryant. And Kobe Bryant gives his take, you see. And then the last one he deep fakes into is Nipsey Hussle. And Nipsey Hussle goes on to say, I don't have to be in the flesh to hug you. And the hug is the healing. The healing. It's time to heal these wounds, you see. So now he's got Kendrick is playing the role of the son, the physical man who exposes, we got to look at symbolism, you guys. The son, the physical man, the son who exposes as he channels. And he's a Gemini. Gemini is the natural channeler. So he's channeling from the spiritual man. Marvin, Nipsey, and Kobe. He's the one who's channeling as the son to expose, you see, where the father and the son, there's three fathers, because spirit is always collective. So he used three figures as the father, three spiritual men, and three is the number for magic. So he used three men for the spiritual men, or the fathers, and then he represents the son, the individual, the one, who's now exposing this need for this healing by redeeming the value of the fallen daughter. And so we say, where did the mother come in? Because the Tetragrammaton, the father, the son, and the mother all redeemed the value of the fallen daughter, the Cinderella. You break down the word Cinderella. Cinder, carbon, black. El is divinity, and La is feminine. The black divine, feminine. The servant girl who ends up marrying the prince and becomes the queen. That's what Cinderella means, from the bottom to the top.
Wow. I never heard that before.
Yeah, Spirit brought all this to me, the Cinderella. And the servant girl who ends up marrying the prince and becomes the queen. That's what Cinderella means, from the bottom to the top. You see, the one who had been denied her value. Like I said, we had the prince with Aries, the queen with Cancer, the king with Libra. These are the cardinal signs. The only cardinal sign, Capricorn, was the only one who hadn't reached her royal status as the princess. She was the rejected stone who became the cornerstone. It was in her rejection and redemption the earth is transformed. Daughter Earth, the Cinderella story at the planetary level. So she had to be redeemed in her value of character. But in the land of illusion, character is not respected. That's why she was put at the bottom of the totem pole in her value in the physical illusion, because she's the energy of integrity and character, Capricorn, which is not respected in the land of illusion. That's why she was put at the bottom of the totem pole in her value in the physical illusion. But spirit is spiral. Who's ever at the bottom in the physical is the one who's going to spiral most to the top in the spiritual, from the bottom to the top. Also, opposite reflections. So in the physical illusion, the one who is of least value in the physical illusion is the one who is of the most value in the opposite spiritual reality, you see. But she's been rejected because we've been in the land of illusion, and now she has to be redeemed and lifted up, as character, redeeming character. So that is how the fallen daughter, Capricorn, has to be redeemed in her value. And that is where the mother came up. And this is an ancient tetragrammaton. It's called the tetragrammaton, an ancient energy where the father, the son, and the mother comes together to raise the fallen daughter. And so we say, where did the mother come in all of this? Well, they dropped Heart Part 5 on Mother's Day, May 8th. So that is the symbolism of the father, the mother, and the son coming together to raise that falling daughter, redeeming her value, redeeming the value of character, you see. And she now becomes crowned as the princess. Now we're completed as a royal family. Now we have the prince through Aries, the queen through Cancer, the king through Libra. Now we have the princess through Capricorn.
So Cinderella's a Capricorn. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's Capricorn's energy.
Woo!
Capricorn is the energy of rejection.
The
The rejected stone who becomes the cornerstone. That's Capricorn energy, daughter character. She's been rejected because she's the energy of character, and we've been in the land of illusion. Character is not respected in the land of illusion. That is how she was put at the bottom of the totem pole. as we've been in the illusionary half, and of degradation, corrupted abuse of power. We've been in the physical half of degradation, the negative polarity. So she's the energy of character, and character is not respected in the land of illusion. That's why she was put at the bottom of the totem pole in her value. That's Capricorn energy, the rejected sign of rejection, the rejected stone, earth element. And it's in her rejection and redemption, the earth is transformed, daughter earth. So yes, that is why it's Sagittarius and Capricorn at the winter solstice. That's the 12 o'clock hand. That's the peak of the astrological cycle. And then see where Asar, Sagittarius, comes to the fullness of his power, having proved that he'll use that power righteously, and now gains the abundance of that power. Now, this is where he redeems the value of Capricorn, the next energy. They come together at the winter solstice like the 12 o'clock hand, you see. Capricorn and Sagittarius, the ultimate son and the ultimate daughter, the son of ultimate power and the ultimate daughter of character, now being redeemed in her value by the ultimate son. And the ultimate son, he actually, as Sagittarius, he actually transformed into the father. How does he do that? Through Sagittarius? Because as you cross over from Sagittarius into Capricorn, and Capricorn, planetary ruler is who? Saturn, the father. So that is how he steps up as the father, the ultimate son, coming to his full power. As the energy goes into Capricorn, the planetary ruler of Capricorn is Saturn, which is the father at the planetary level. So the father, the son, and the mama, redeeming the fallen daughter. And this is what Kendrick Lamar did in his halftime performance in the Super Bowl. He played out that scenario, redeeming the value of the fallen daughter, Cinderella. He played that out in his Super Bowl halftime performance, which went all over the world. How did he do that? Well, you know, as he did with the Part 5, when he started it up, he said, I am, period, all of us, from the personal to the collective is what he was demonstrating. So in the Super Bowl halftime, he showed his personal connection to this collective operation of America. And his personal was his war with Drake. That was his personal. So he demonstrated through his war with Drake, you see, where he said A minor. You know what that means? A minor. He using his song about Drake.
What does that mean?
That means somebody likes young girls, little young girls. Young girls. A minor. You're dealing with a minor girl, a minor woman, underage. Okay? The A minor. That's what your boy was known to do.
Who, Drake?
Yes.
Now you know this is now you're getting deep, Sister Myrah, because I just saw a post on social media where the country Somalia made what is it from like around 12 and everything. They raised it to, I think it's 18.
Yes.
And there's so many religious leaders having a fit,
Yes.
saying, like,
Yeah.
like they show the religious leaders, Somalia is mostly Muslim, but they're showing that the leaders are crying, like,
Yes. The degenerate cycle. Now, they've expanded this. My spirit told me that's been expanded. So, but at the time, I'm saying this is generational for what he was showing in the generation of O.J. Simpson. Okay? In that generation, the degenerate cycle. Now, this is not true now. Things have expanded. So don't get on my case about this. Okay? I'm just a reporter for the cosmos. I don't make this be. I don't make this up. I just report it. But way back in that generation, in the degenerate cycle, it started with interracial. What they're showing is the imbalance. Everything is about balance. So in that generation, the degenerate cycle started with interracial relationship, imbalanced. Then it went from interracial to homosexual. Then it went from homosexual to pedophilia. Then it went from pedophilia to bestiality, and from bestiality to necrophilia. That was the degenerate cycle.
Wow. I remember I was a teenager, and I had met my great aunt. Her name was Viola, and she was the funniest person I had ever met. And she was like close to 80 when I was like 17.
Yes.
And she told me when she was young, she got married at 13.
Yeah.
And she said she was playing with her dolls. And the way she said it, I mean, she had everybody on the floor laughing with their stomach cramped. And she said that her husband said, "Come on and get into bed with me." And she was like, "I don't want to get into bed with you. I'm down here playing with my dolls."
Absolutely.
But this was common.
Yeah.
And it's common all over the world.
In those nations, that was the standard. Okay. But on a spiritual tip, that was the degenerate cycle. Now they've told me that's been expanded. That's it's a creative process, so there's always expanding, and they have removed the interracial, and they've removed the homosexual couple from the degenerate cycle. That's been removed. I was told that by spirit, because it's not so much about interracial couple. Now it's about an interracial cabal.
So I got a question to ask you, Sister
Yes.
Myrah. If the pendulum is swinging, are you kind of like, you got me wondering, in another 5 or 10 years, how many folks are going to say, well, a woman shouldn't even think about having a baby till she's after 60? I mean, how far is this pendulum going to swing?
No. Remember, the spiritual rule is balance. That's the key to the spirit. Balance. Okay? So no, it's not going to swing all the way to the extreme of the opposite end.
Because how like a swing swings, extremes, and then to balance out.
And that's what we're doing now. We've gone from one extreme. Now we're coming into balance. That's what this whole operation is about. Bringing it from one extreme, back to the balance, you see. Like I said, everything started matriarchal. And then that's when it was in the matriarchal extreme. Then it had to spiral to the patriarchal extreme. Okay? And then whenever we get into the Aquarian age, it's coming back full circle in balance, where the two halves, you've done 180 degrees on one half, 180 degrees on the opposite half, where it comes together in a full spiral. So we're in that middle pillar right now.
You know what, Sister Myra? You know, you got my imagination spinning now. You know, the powers that be, they want to cut population down. So they might push an agenda to say, you shouldn't have a baby till after 60. I think they might try to pull that off with and if you don't do it, you can't get your ID chip. I think there's no telling what they might be doing in the next 20 years.
They're already doing that in some countries, but remember, we're hopping the fence to a spiritual half. Spiritual righteousness, a spiritual rulership, a spiritual government based on the spiritual principles of righteousness out of the abuse of power. That's what you call an abuse of power. That's what the universe is guarding against, is abusing that power. You cannot, and not only that, a woman can't have a baby at 60.
I wonder if they got something planned. I think they're gonna. Now this I may sound crazy as cat.
Absolutely right, but they are not. But they've reached their maximum. They can't take it any further. That is why this happens in the Aquarius age, because Aquarius is the sign of evolution. It's time for our evolution. And what is it evolving? It's evolving Leo. Creative rulers out of the abuse of power to a humanitarian empowerment. So we're hopping the fence to the opposite now. Whatever we've done on this half is now becoming non and void. It's only been a platform for a reflection of what's now ready to open up in opposite spiritual righteousness, you see. We're coming out of an abuse of power to a humanitarian empowerment. Aquarius is the sign of the humanitarian. The Aquarian age is where this all occurs because it's the energy of evolution. It's time for our evolution of a new righteous rulership or empowerment. Leo, your creative powers. So it's time for the sun. That's the sun. The planetary ruler of Leo is the sun. The resurrection of the sun out of the abuse of power to a humanitarian and righteous empowerment in the Aquarian age.
So, Sister Myra, I gotta ask you,
yes,
with this wild swing, this pendulum swing, do you think Mother Earth or Daughter Earth is going to be dancing while all this is going on in the form of earthquakes, tidal waves, and I mean, you got a big storm right now down in Jamaica.
Yeah, the elements. That's where everything happens, through the elements. Yes. The air, the tornadoes, the whatever, the water, the what is it? What you said they just had going?
They got a big hurricane right now in Jamaica.
Yeah, and the air, the water, the earth, the earthquakes, and the fire. That's the four elements. That's how this all of this is being operated, through those four elements: the earth, earthquakes, the water. There was a see, I read energy. That's
volcanoes. That's another thing. Thank you, Jeffrey Bay. Volcanoes is what I was thinking.
See, I read energy. And when we did there was a configuration of planets on what was that? That was August the 11th. August the 11th, 1999. There was a configuration of planets in the shape what we call the cross of crucifixion. That means all the planets were sitting in the four fixed signs of the zodiac. You have the cardinal signs, which I talked about, which is Aries opposite Libra, Cancer opposite Capricorn. That's the cardinal signs. That's the royal energy. Then you have what you call the fixed signs. That is Aquarius opposite Leo and Taurus opposite Scorpio. These are the ones that does the heavy work. They reverse the energy from a mundane physical illusion of power to a spiritual, creative, and royal empowerment. I call these the four horses of the apocalypse. That's the fixed cross. Then we have what you call the mutable cross, where we have Gemini opposite Sagittarius and Virgo opposite Pisces. That's the mutable cross. That's the magical cross. Okay. The cardinal cross activates a royal power. The fixed cross enforces it, or sets it into motion. And the mutable cross adapts us to a whole new level as the now new rulers transformed in their value, now stepping up as the new rulers and now adapting to a new level in the universe of accessing the magic of Mama Universe. Anytime we're dealing with threes, we're dealing with magic. So that's what the mutable cross brings, the magic. You see, Pisces is on that. Pisces is the sign of the subconscious and the entrance into your Akashic records, your ancient memory, the subconscious. That's where we go into the soul realm. And so Pisces, on the mutable cross, the water is always the mama component. So the magical mama is really the fairy godmama of the Cinderella story. That is how we look at energy. We have to personify energy to understand how energy operates, you see. And that's how this revolves around the Cinderella story. So the mutable cross is the magical cross. But when we're looking at the fixed cross, which is Aquarius opposite Leo and Taurus opposite Scorpio. Aquarius, evolution. And this is what the fixed cross, this was what was happening on August the 11th, 1999. All the planets were sitting in those four fixed signs. Aquarius opposite Leo and Taurus opposite Scorpio. And what it was saying, this happened on August 11th. So the sun, wherever the sun is at, is where the focus of energy is at. So the sun was in Leo. So the focus was in Leo. Rulership, empowerment, time to reverse rulership from a mundane physical illusion of power to a spiritual, creative, and royal empowerment. This was the fixed cross on August the 11th, 1999, how the planets were telling us they were about to reverse the energy from the mundane, physical, material empowerment to a spiritual, creative, and royal empowerment. So wherever the sun was at, it started in Leo, the fixed fire. We saw fire element tearing down the material kingdom. Then the next fixed sign it went into was Scorpio, water. So we saw water tearing down the material kingdom. Then the next fixed sign it went into was Aquarius. So we saw air things tearing down the material kingdom. And the last fixed sign was Taurus, earth. So we saw earth tearing down the material kingdom. And after 4 rotations or 4 years, all the energy had been released to reverse it and tear down this illusionary physical material kingdom. And then on November the 8th, 2003, now look at this. We have November 8th, which is 11/8. Excuse me, we have August the 11th, 8/11. And then on November 8th, 11/8, 2003, is when we get a configuration of the Star of David in the sky, the 6-pointed star. And it was sitting on its side, so you saw the 3 levels of the 6-pointed star. This is the configuration of the planets. They showed you how we were wounded as a royal family, energy royal family, and how we're going to be healed of those wounds. This was in 2003, on November the 8th. On the bottom level, we had the mother and the father. We had the mother as the moon in Taurus. We had the father as Saturn in Cancer at the first level. On the second level, we had the sister through Virgo in Jupiter in Virgo. And then across from her was the brother, which was Mars in Pisces. And on the highest level of the 6-pointed star, of course, on November the 8th, the sun was in Scorpio. And across from the sun was Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer, how you've been wounded and how those wounds have to be healed in order for you to step up to a new vibration. And there we had Chiron in Capricorn, the daughter. So the mother, father on the first level, sister, brother on the second level, son and daughter on the highest level. And it showed us how we were wounded, where they cut off the father, Saturn, they cut off the father to protect the family. And the mama, the moon in Taurus, became compromised in her value. She became the slave master's mistress. Okay? Then she sent the energy to the second level through the sister, where she became polluted in her value. Virgo is the sign of cleansing and purification of false values. But in the wounding, Virgo, she becomes polluted in her value through materialism, Jupiter energy. Jupiter in Virgo, the sister, became polluted through materialism in her value. Through the mother passing that from her compromised value. Across from her was Mars in Pisces. Pisces is the sign of escapism. The brother, Mars, that means he went into fantasy land, escapism. That's when he started doing drugs, alcohol, and he ran to other women. He didn't protect his sister, and his sister didn't stay true to her brother. They passed that energy to the highest level, the sun in Scorpio. The sun, Scorpio, in its lowest vibration is obsessive. And now he's become obsessive and controlling to the daughter, Chiron in Capricorn. She's the only one who stayed true to her value as a melanated woman, didn't compromise her value. So now she's being rejected, Capricorn, in her value.
I got a question to ask you right there, because you just said Capricorn being rejected. You're making me think about the government divorcing the EBT and the Section 8. Is there a connection with that? What's going on? Because you get what I'm saying from the civil rights to now?
That's the illusion. They just had a graph up to show you who was doing all the food stamps, who was doing all. White people are at the top of that list, honey. And then we have like the what they said, the Mexicans, and third on that list is Black people. Okay, so no, that's the same thing with DEI. That wasn't benefiting us. These are all illusions. They got a perception of us. We have not been the main people on welfare.
Because I got down to Eastern Parkway. I know every one of those dressed up, Orthodox Jews. They have their own welfare office. Yeah, they don't go downtown where the Black folks at or the Puerto Ricans. They got their own welfare office, and they signed up on everything.
They are the ones that benefited that and that DEI. Oh, he's taking it down. DEI. What is it? Is it DEI? DIE? Yeah, DEI.
Yeah, DEI. You got it right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's taking down DEI. He's going against Black people. No, they weren't the ones benefiting from DEI. They didn't benefit from all these little programs they claimed that Black people, they did for Black. They weren't benefiting from those programs. Not to the extent that, other people were.
What if folks get so upset if they don't get enough turkeys, candy yams, black eyed peas, mashed potatoes, that earthquakes start kicking up? I mean, is it possible?
I just saw on YouTube where the non-melanated people are the ones saying, we're going to go to the grocery stores because we can't get food stamps. We're going to now go to the grocery stores and steal our food.
They're going to Walmart. Jeff Dunham and he's bringing his puppets.
That's not how people saying
it. Yeah. The little puppet saying, howdy do.
Because he cut off the food stamps. And they were the ones most benefiting. That's a misnomer.
We're gonna see some colorful times coming in these days. I want to see Jeff Dunham make a puppet about the Jeff Dunham has a puppet, a little puppet. Walter, I want to see what Walter says. I want to see what the NASCAR puppet says when they ain't getting any biscuits.
Yeah, they're the ones stampeding because they're the ones most benefiting. And I mean, come on. You remember the Wall Street crash? I mean, way back when?
2008.
No, I'm talking about in the 30s.
1929.
Yeah. Who was jumping out the windows and stuff? Not us.
Yep. No, we wasn't. Nope.
Like, well, what else is new?
Yeah.
We done found our tools of survival. We know how to survive. Now they're mad at us because we don't join their fight. And we're sitting back going, hey, we're not bothered by any of this. This is not bothering us.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when I showed you simultaneous, our rise is their demise. That's a simultaneous thing. As they fall, we rise.
Well, I hope their biscuits get to rising because how many days we got before Turkey Holocaust? What is it? November? Yeah, it's about a month away, right? About a month.
Yeah, and but this is the energy Scorpio, where everything is going to get intense and going to, really go extreme. This is where we're going to really see the death of the old. Wow. That's why we're seeing the fall. You see, as I was talking about Kendrick Lamar when he was talking about the fall of America, when A minor, and he was doing that with Drake. He wore a chain around his neck with a small case A, indicating the personal battle with Drake, A minor, because that's what he's known for, is those underage girls. And he also connected it to America, the small case A, the fall of America, for the same reasons.
They always focus on the black folks. I mean, we haven't seen whatever happened to Bernstein and you never heard about the guy who was in charge of Playboy, Hugh Hefner.
Yeah.
You don't hear about what's going on in their echelons.
Yes.
I mean, I've seen pictures.
Dirt is happening. That's where the real dirt is happening. Do you know what?
This is lightweight over here.
Yeah. Do you know what? The three entities that are causing this fall, is the corporate world, the billionaires, and the governments.
Oh, don't forget about the gangster banksters.
Well, that's the corporations.
Yeah.
That's the corporation, the corporates, the billionaires, and the government. Those three have come together in this whole degradation. If you're not regenerating, you're automatically degenerating. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
And we are the regenerative. That's mama's energy, regeneration. And they see. So the A minor, and the reason the personal between the collective, where he uses that with Drake, the PETA, with the Drake personal applies to America, the fall of America, because that's their biggest industry now.
You know who I like to see you on the show with? That black guy that be talking like he dumb on YouTube. You know who I'm talking about? He's I think he's from Alabama. Okay. And he has he's single. He looked like he's about 60 something. But he asks like dumb questions.
Okay.
Like but I would like to see you get on his show. y'all know who I'm talking about. It's because y'all would be you would school him. Jesse Peterson. That's his name.
Okay, I think I've heard of him. Yeah.
I would get some popcorn to watch that show with you and him. and Jesse Lee Peterson.
Sit back and watch the show, honey.
Oh, I would love to see that. Yeah, I would love to see that.
So the thing is that And the reason I said Drake did this demonstration in the Super Bowl is because that's why he featured Caesar, because Caesar was in a relationship with Drake. And then he featured Serena Williams because Serena Williams was in a relationship with Drake. So he put them on stage as Drake undermined their value. He's the one who put them on stage as a redemption to lift them up and redeem their value. The Tetragrammaton, what he had demonstrated in Heart Part 5, he played out in the Super Bowl halftime, redeeming the value of those two women that had been in a relationship with Drake. Okay, that's why he had them on the show. They're redeeming their value, but he went deeper. When you dealing with Kendrick, you got to go down the rabbit hole with Kendrick. But he's going to do it in code, and so he even went deeper than that. Because what he did when he did Caesar started singing the song, If This World Were Mine, you see.
That's Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell's song.
But they gave it to Luther. The younger generation recognized it as Luther. Okay?
Wow.
As Luther and Cheryl Lynn did the album in 1982. So
that's right.
The younger generation, the first thing they thought, that's what brought my antennas up, because when I watched, after the halftime and everybody kept saying, Luther, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
y'all
Jack.
know my boy. Y'all know my boy is Marvin Gaye. How the hell you giving this to Luther? This is not Luther. Marvin wrote that song. Now, guess what? When I talked about Asar and the 14 pieces, when I did the Super Bowl halftime, when I did the Super Bowl symbolism, I've been doing the Super Bowl symbolism from way back, right after 9/11. They would gather for me to do that Super Bowl ritual or symbolism, because I understand the message from an energy perspective by looking at the Super Bowl symbolisms. So I've been doing that since 9/11. And so when I saw this, I said, wait a minute. I said, that's Marvin Gaye's song. Well, okay, I said the 14. I said, follow the trail. When I did the Super Bowl symbolism, I said, follow the trail of the 14. Because last year, the Super Bowl was Super Bowl number 58. And Kansas City played the role of Asar, Sagittarius. Kansas City have two signs. They have Taurus and they had Sagittarius. Taurus, where they identified as the Royal Indians, the indigenous Royal Indians in their first Super Bowl. But in the Super Bowl 58 last year, now Kansas City then became cocky and big-headed, because they won all these Super Bowls. So now they done stepped up as Asar, but now Asar becoming abusive in his power, you see, Sagittarius. The reason they get two signs is because the Wakanda Springs, which is the magical powers of those ancient Indians, Wakanda Springs, which they tried to steal and give it to Africa, which is not about Africa. Wakanda is about America. Wakanda Springs sat on the border of Kansas, between Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. Wakanda Springs was the ancient, magical, spiritual powers of these ancient royal Indians, these Black Indians. And the Wakanda Springs, the Black Panther Nation, these 9 Midwest nations that encompasses Wakanda Springs. It's Wakanda lakes that spread out to encompass these 9 states in the Midwest, you see.
Wow.
You got Kansas, of course, because it's set on the border of Kansas. You got Missouri, you got Nebraska, you got Iowa, you got South Dakota, you got North Dakota, you got Wisconsin. Who else? We got might be Minnesota. And I'm missing one, but these are the 9 nations. They were called the Black Panther Nation, Wakanda Nation, because Wakanda Springs. All of them have Wakanda Springs. In my hometown, I'm Omaha, Nebraska. We have an elementary school called Wakanda.
Wow.
There is no Wakanda in Africa. They stole that from, from the original. So that's why Kansas City was playing the role of the Royal Indians. Wakanda Springs. This was really the fountain of youth that Ponce de Leon was looking for, was really Wakanda Springs.
I want to give a shout out to the author of the book, When Rocks Cry Out. Remember that book, When Rocks Cry Out? Y'all remember the authors? He said everything was over here. It wasn't over there.
Yes. This was the most ancient land this is the most ancient land on the planet.
Yeah.
There's a guy called Kiramio, a Latino from South America. He breaks all this down in a way, and he brings the receipts. He brings these old books that has been written way back when, and he is really telling you all of this about where the real ancient land is. This is the real Egypt. The Mississippi is the real Nile.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Look at the word Utah. That's Judah. There was no J, remember, in the ancient language.
Right.
Utah,
Horace Butler.
Yeah, Judah.
Y'all look up When Rocks Cry Out, Horace Butler, and leave it in the comments what his contact. I would love to have him on with you, Sister Myrah. Horace Butler.
I did that Super Bowl when Kansas City played Philadelphia the first time. I did that Super Bowl symbolism where I described all of this about who the real ancient people are, where the real land, how they, it started with Kansas City. The first time Kansas City won the Super Bowl, they won it against San Francisco 49ers. So I had to look up the San Francisco 49ers history to understand the symbolism between Kansas City Indians, Royal Indians, and the 49ers, San Francisco 49ers. And it took me back to 1849, the gold rush, where they discovered gold in San Francisco, and the government here told all the nations to come and pan gold. And when they told them to come and pan gold, they gave them permission to kill off the Indians. It was the biggest genocide ever, and the whole world participated with it. But in order to cover it up, they stole our treasures, they stole our land, but the biggest thing they stole was our identity. In order to cover it up, they claim they went and got us from Africa as slaves. That is not true. We were already here. We had a civilization far surpassing what they got now. And they covered all of that up. And what they did was they took our children and put them in these indoctrination schools to make them forget their sovereign connection to this land of America.
Yep. And they do that to all over the world.
Yes.
They do the Aborigines, the Hawaiians, Native American, from out west. They do it all over the world. They take the children away from the parents.
Yes, and I talked about this. I was just on, Arisa Stone's show, and he had the South Africans there, and in the comments, they were a little insulted by this information. They were like, no, we are the motherland, we are this and that, and I understand everything he said is real, but what he doesn't understand is what was happening over here. And it's only now being exposed as to what was happening over here way back even before, we all
over the planet. We everywhere.
So what was happening over here predates what happened even in Africa, okay? And Kiramio does validate this. He brings the receipts, where he shows you this was the most ancient land, and it was the Black Indians that were the original people of this land. This is, they said, the most ancient land, the most ancient water, the real Egypt The Mississippi is really the real Nile. The Judah is the real Utah is the real Judah. I mean, there's just all kind of, the Memphis, all kind of, symbolism that has been obscured and hidden. But because of Aquarius and Leo, planetary ruler is the sun. The sun is exposure because of Aquarian age, the evolution of the sun. Now we're getting full exposure of what's been hidden subconsciously, and what's been hidden in antiquity is now being exposed.
They found Queen Cleopatra gold coins in the soil of Illinois. Yes. The farmers tilling the soil, and they took it and melted it down. They took the Egyptian city in the Grand Canyon and put it off limits. And the Smithsonian is the one that suppresses all the real history from the giants and the Egyptian presence in America.
And this is what the Indian chief said. He said, even the Smithsonian and all of that. And they mad at Trump because he was trying to shut down the information of the Smithsonian because it's phony. It's not real. It's false.
Yeah, it's an agent for lies.
Yes, an agent for lies. So this is the most ancient land. This is it. With Wakanda Springs, that was the power of the ancient Indians. It was Black Panther Nation. The matriarch, Big Mama, Bast, and her animal was the Black Panther. And this
big
is what
pretty cat.
Yeah, Kira Miro said that the Black Panther in Africa, melanin gene is what is it? Degenerate. It's not where the Black Panther melanin gene in America is dominant. You see, which he says tells you that the Black Panther from Africa stemmed from the Black Panther in America. You see. And
if you look at the map, family, I remember when I was in third grade and I was chastised, Sister Myrah, because I looked at Africa, the shape of South America, the shape of North America. It looked like it was all one land mass, and you even have these look like somebody cut the giant trees down and call them monuments.
Yes. Yes. You're seeing all of that. My house is on a mound.
Wow.
I live on a mound. I have to go up 8 stairs in the front yard, and then there's 10 stairs in the backyard to get up to my house. It's on a mound because I'm Omaha. The heartland was the royal in the center. They always put the royalty in the middle. And Omaha, Nebraska, they call it the heartland. You see, right in the middle. That's where royalty is at. You see, right in the middle. This most protected area. You see, and Kansas City, the Wakanda Springs on the border of Kansas. That was the power and the waters of the Big Mama, and her animal was the Black Panther. As a matter of fact, I did a hypnotherapy, and when they put me under and I got to speak to the spiritual council. And the spiritual council, we had to submit 15 questions. And I asked, one of my questions was my cat, August, I'm like, was my cat with me in antiquity? And they said, yes, you're definitely connected to the cat, the most ancient of beasts.
I like that.
Yeah, the next day, as I was waking up, they gave me a vision of me as this little Indian princess. At 6 years, it was on my 6th birthday. They presented me with a little baby Black Panther on my 6th birthday as an Indian princess. They said they presented all the little princess on their 6th birthday a Black Panther as a gift. Then they showed me, at like 14, 15, running through the woods with my big Black Panther at my side. You see,
that's beautiful. I love them putty cats.
Me too. I love me. I'm obsessed with the cats. They're obsessed with me. They love me.
And Sister Myrah, they found an Egyptian or Atlantean city right between Cuba and Florida Keys, and they have giant pyramids, giant sphinxes, streets, and the news suppressed it. Family, look it up.
Yes, they're suppressing
it's here. It's here.
They said there was 13 effigies in the Midwest Black Panthers. And they covered all of them up except for the one in Wisconsin.
Wow.
Yep. 13 effigies of the Black Panther. So, but getting back to that Super Bowl that Kendrick Lamar, where you had to go down the rabbit hole, like you said, you recognized it, but when everybody else was talking Luther, so I had to come out when I gave my Super Bowl symbolism. I said, now wait a minute, you got to go down the rabbit hole with Kendrick.
That's right.
I said, because I had told him to follow the trail of the 14, because the 13th Super Bowl was where Kansas City had got cocky and big-headed, abuse of power as Sagittarius. But so I said the next year is where we're going to get the resurrection of Asar, because the next year would have been the 59th Super Bowl, which adds up to 14. So it's all about the 14 pieces of Asar and his resurrection, the 14th piece being his penis. So I said, follow the trail of the 14. Well, when they started saying Luther, I said, you know who really wrote that song?
That's right.
Gaye wrote that song. And let me tell you what year he wrote it. 1967. What does that add up to?
What does it add up to?
14.
Wow.
14. And him and Tammy Terrell performed it in 1967. That
was a duet, boy. That was a duet.
Woo! It's about redeeming the value of the woman who has been abused by her man. That has been his ultimate abuse of power, not seeing his woman as his equal. So Tammy Terrell, who was a Taurus, and Marvin Gaye was Aries. What did I tell you? The first couple, Aries and Taurus. The first fire and earth. Aries and Taurus, Marvin Aries, Tammy Taurus, and she had been abused. When she was like 12 years old, she was raped by about 5 men. And then she had a relationship with James Brown, who abused her horribly. Then she had a relationship with, what's his name? David Ruffin, Temptation.
Wow.
He abused her horribly. The only one who treated her with any decency was Marvin Gaye. So that when she passed away at 24, from a brain aneurysm, the only one from Motown that was allowed at her funeral was Marvin Gaye. So that showed you the abuse and the redemption, how Marvin, the Aries, redeemed the value, the Taurus, the earth, of that the antiquity, the wounding of our ancestors, and now how that wound is being redeemed, where you see Marvin Gaye being the one who, as Kendrick used his song in Heart Part 5, I want you, but I want you to want me too, you see.
I want to see, if that's the case, then you need to get, what's the name? Because she looks just like Tammy Terrell. Laraji? What's her name?
I know you're talking about. They said she looked just
Laraji Henson? She looked like Tammy Terrell reincarnated. So you need to have, imagine having Laraji and Kendrick Lamar on the stage at the same time, and then sing a Marvin Gaye song. You making it sound like that the Super Bowl is like a ritual, a portal ritual.
It is. You have to pull energy to create spirit. And that's why they do their rituals through the Super Bowls, the Olympics, because that's where you get a collective of people pulling their energy in their focus. That's how they do their rituals.
Wow.
And that is why the spirit had me start doing the symbolism of the Super Bowls, because, Taraji.
Yeah, Taraji.
That is why they had me started doing the symbolism of the Super Bowl, because you're looking at another level of energy. A collective. You pull energy. That's why they say we're more than one is called in my name. So shall I be, Father's Spirit. You have to pull energy to create spirit. Spirit is a combination. Physical is individual. So that's where they get the collective of people in their focus, the sun, focusing on the skit that they play out to energize. When they had me start doing the Super Bowl symbolism right after 9/11, the Super Bowl symbolism was war on America. because they wanted to go to war with Iraq.
Mm.
So they did the symbolism of the Super Bowl, so we would energize as they played it out. They had the Rams, which is Aries or the royal sun, going up against the patriarchs, which is the patriotic spirit. The system of illusion represents the patriarchs, you see. So they had the patriarchs take down the whole royal family. They took down the Rams, Aries, which is the prince. They took down North Carolina. They took down the Panthers. North Carolina, the matriarch, Queen Charlotte, Charlotte, North Carolina. You gotta look at symbolism. So that's how they took down the mama. That's when the Janet Jackson thing, the
oh yeah, ooh,
patriarchs took down North Carolina. Janet Jackson played the matriarch, and Justin Timberlake played the patriarch, the young boy who humiliated and exposed the mama or the matriarch, you see. And then so they took down the matriarch. Then when they took down the egos, because the father is always the air element. So when they took down the egos, that was the patriarch taking down the father. The only one they couldn't take down was the daughter. They couldn't take down Cinderella. So what they did with the daughter Cinderella, which is the Steelers, EL, follow the trail of the EL, divinity, the Steelers, Cinderella, the Steelers, the Cinderella team.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Steelers, EL, Cinderella. So what they did, because they couldn't take down the daughter, the patriarchs couldn't take down the daughter, they did a symbolism of the Super Bowl in Detroit. And in this Super Bowl, it was the Steelers against the Seattle Seahawks. And the Seattle Seahawks was playing the wicked stepmother of the Cinderella story, the water, the mama,
wow,
the wicked stepmother, the Seattle Seahawks. They were playing. And in this Super Bowl, and you have to look at the symbolism of the commercials and everything. Because the first commercial, they showed a white woman standing on a football field, and she had on a helmet. And a white man runs up to her and picks her up and throws her down.
wow.
Then another commercial, they showed a runway of models. These white women walking the runway as models. And the photographers taking their pictures. But in front of the runway was a pool of water. And out of the pool of water rises up this black woman. She's real regal. And liquid, silver liquid dripping off of her. They started taking her pictures, and she wheels around and she walks off like she's walking on water.
Wow.
And up from under her comes a black Cadillac, the black cat, the black mama, Bast, the black woman rising to her power off of the back of the black mama, the black Cadillac, Bast. And whoever won the MVP would win the black Cadillac, and that would be symbolic of who the black woman would pass the power to. So at halftime in Detroit, they had the Rolling Stones on a stage shaped like a tongue.
Wow.
And they were singing the song, I Can't Get No Satisfaction.
Yeah, I remember that.
Singing in behalf of the black woman. You can't get no satisfaction from your man. He has the penis and the white woman has him. But we'll give you satisfaction, black woman, through the tongue.
No! Damn.
Just pass that baton to us. Pass that power to us. They thought it was going to be the white boy Rothenberger, the quarterback for the Steelers, but it turned out Hines Ward won the MVP. So it was symbolic of her passing the power back to her man.
Wow.
And in the next Super Bowl, now they got Prince on a stage shaped like a penis.
Wow.
And he's singing the song, I'm a party like it's 1999, which is the apocalypse.
Wow.
And he has two black women on the stage with him. The transformation of Prince. And then at the very end of the halftime performance, they drop down a screen where you only see his silhouette. And he uses his guitar like a penis to show the resurrection of the sun from the individual Prince of Power, Gemini, to the abundance of power, the opposite sign of Sagittarius or Asar, resurrecting into his abundance of power from the individual Prince of Power, Gemini, to the collective abundance of power, Sagittarius or Asar.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's the symbolism they showed in that Super Bowl.
Wait a second, Sister Myrah, are you on any psychedelics the way you dropped that down?
You know how long ago those Super Bowls were? This is how long I've been doing the symbolism right after 9/11.
You putting me in altered states. I'm getting visuals and everything. That's some deep stuff.
Bigger energy. What the bigger energy, the larger collective energy is doing, not the individual physical illusion. That's what we're looking at from the physical eyes. But when you look at it from another level of energy, that is how you see the bigger picture.
Wow.
They did another one with the New England Patriots. That was their tool, this patriotic spirit, against the Giants, the New York Giants. And the lowly Giants, they had barely made the Super Bowl, where the New England Patriots hadn't lost a game all season. And they meet in the Super Bowl. And this is where I got the intimidation factor, because, you know, they were so intimidating, but the lowly Giants beat the New England Patriots.
Wow.
And it was symbolic of Jack and the Beanstalk, the Giants, taking their power back. The Giants and the harp, the ability to rewrite the story, the golden egg, prosperity, and the harp, the ability to control the weather. So those are the powers they stole from the Giants in the Jack and the Beanstalk story. And with the Giants beating the Patriarchs, it was symbolic of the sleeping Giants, no longer sleeping dead, taking those powers back, reclaiming those powers.
Wow.
So I'm looking at energy at another level.
Yes, you are.
See,
you remind me of that old song. Didn't I blow your mind this time? Didn't I? Because I feel smoke coming off the top of my head. Wow.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
Time. Everything, and it's all been in divine. Everything I've been saying through these Super Bowls, through this symbolisms, it's now happening. It's now coming to a head. And like I said, with Kendrick Lamar putting that out at the last Super Bowl, and that Super Bowl was so popular, it went all over the world.
Wow.
And now you're seeing worldwide how they are now redeeming the value of our women, the melanated women. That's happening from everywhere now. Every man in the world is stepping up and talking about how he loved him some black woman.
Wow. Special acknowledgement to OJ Yemi. Special acknowledgement to a sister named Shanique. She's in your frequency tribe. You know, she be talking about signs and symbols all the time.
Yes.
Special acknowledgement to all the goddesses, Kafunya, the whole audience of goddesses and the gods.
Yes.
We salute you. We salute you.
Thank you. And like I said, it's not me. I call myself the reporter for the cosmos. Okay. I read energy.
You the oracle. That's what you are. You the oracle.
The reporter for the cosmos, honey. And I just report, like people get upset with me sometimes and things I say, but I swear it's not me. I'm just, even when I do my consultations, I don't go from me. I go from what the cards are telling me, a message from their own spirit. But see,
you know what?
Yeah.
For people to get in touch with you, let me put that on the screen.
Okay.
If they want a reading, what number would they call?
They would go to my website,
Let me put that.
sistermyrah.com. That's it, sistermyrah.com.
Sister Myrah, MYRAH
Yeah,
dot
and the
com.
sister, you know, is
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
SISTARMYRAH.
Okay, let me see if this is correct. This is great. Let me show it. Sister
Yes, that's it.
Myra.com. I'm gonna leave that up there. Oh, you know what? I should copy it and then run it on the bottom of the screen. Let me see if I can do that. No, I'll just put that up there right now. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where you go. That's the only way I'll make appointments now is it got so many appointments, you know, when I first started doing Brother Rich, I got so many appointments. They were more than a year out, you see. So I had to you know, the only way, you know, my girl, Melanie, Professor Melanie, my girl.
Such a shout out to Melanie.
You want any exposure, the best exposure is through a Leo. That's the sun, you see, and she gave me full exposure. She's the one who set me up on Shopify, and so you know, so they keep my schedule, they keep my calendar, everything. So that's the only way to schedule with me is on that website.
That's beautiful. Special shout out. I want to give acknowledgement to Brother Rich and King Simon. And
Yes, I do him next week or on the 4th of November. I will do King Simon's show.
And then special acknowledgement to Arisha Stone.
Yes.
That's an Aries on fire, boy. Let me tell you, he's on fire.
I did him last week. I did his show last week. Month.
Yeah, that's my brother, man.
Yes.
And sometimes he talks so fast. I'll be like, slow down, player. Slow down.
Yeah.
Real good brother.
Yes, absolutely. So I did his show last week. I do your show today, and then I do King Simon's show the 4th of November.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so. That's the yeah, Kafunya, we know you're a Leo meow. That's Kafunya Ife. We put her up there. She said, I'm a Leo.
Yep. Exposure. That's the biggest energy going on now is Aquarius and Leo. The 6 axis of energy is Aries, Libra, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Sagittarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Aquarius, and Virgo, Pisces. Those are the 6 axes of energy. You don't talk about one sign without its opposite. It's like half a sentence. You have to put the 2 halves together in order to get the whole. And if it's not whole, it's not real. Anytime you're looking at a part of the whole, that's the illusion. Holistic. The balance of opposites. That's the formula of creation. Anywhere you balance opposites, 180 degrees on one half and balance with 180 degrees on the opposite half is how you complete a 360-degree spiral. That is how you open up a vortex and access the next level. We're dealing with a multitude of levels from the individual balance with your own spirit. Then it goes to that couple level, family level, like I said. Then it goes to a international level, which gets to the global level. The global level is that 180-degree completion. After the global level, we're on the spiritual half of the operation. We'll start with the planetary level. From the planetary level to a universal level, from a universal level to a star system level. And what I really want to say about this is going back to the Prince in Aries, the Queen in Cancer, the King in Libra, the only one who hadn't reached her sacred status was the Princess in Capricorn. She was the rejected stone who had to be redeemed in her value, redeeming character. Now she's been redeemed. She was redeemed at the last winter solstice with Kendrick Lamar doing his halftime ritual is where we redeem the value of the daughter. She now becomes the princess. That completes us as a royal family. Now we got the prince, the queen, the king, and the princess. Now we're whole as a royal family. That then takes us to a star system level. Now daughter Earth can go into marriage with Anubis of the Sirius star system. The Sirius star system is our ancient ancestral energy. So now we're ready to balance new age star system, with the ancient ancestral star system, with the new age of Aquarius, balancing with the Sirius star system through the dog star. The dog star is where daughter Earth now can go into marriage or as a comparable mate for Anubis of the dog star. That is how those two come together. That is how we're balancing star systems. This is how this energy is reverberating throughout the cosmos. This is the whole story.
You know what? I could feel your kundalini through the phone. When you get to rocking, I can feel the kundalini going up my spine. I'm like, oh my goodness.
I'll start rocking. When I get in the spirit, you'll see me start.
Ooh, it's on then, boy.
As a little girl, I used to sit on the couch and just rock all day long. If you didn't mess with me and me sitting there rocking, I was good, man. But
that's kundalini. That's kundalini.
Yes. I didn't know that as a child, but I realize it now. That when I get to rocking, I'm in spirit. I'm definitely in spirit. So.
And when you start talking about Marvin Gaye, that's when I became aware. And I was like, oh, shoot. She done punched the pedal to the metal.
And you brought him forward. You know, the first time I did the show with you, and I hadn't said anything about Marvin. You was like, oh, I'm feeling me some Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
The first time you said it, I just let it slide. But then you came back to it. You said, I'm feeling Marvin Gaye. I'm like, okay, brother. That's my boy. How did you know that? How did you pick up on that?
Oh, sure. It must have been the tea.
And you sure picked up on it. Even I hadn't opened my mouth. And you started talking about Marvin Gaye. And then you picked up on Bobby Hemmett. Because those are the two spirits that hang around me. Yeah. Bobby Hemmett and Marvin Gaye, they hang around me a lot.
They probably whispered in your ear, don't forget to tell them.
Yeah, you picked up on him too. You was like, later when you got in the show, you said, well, now I'm feeling some Bobby Hemmett. I'm like,
yeah.
You really tapped in, man. You know you really tapped in.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? Before we close out, I want to play a song that you inspired. No, wait a second. I ain't got to go nowhere. I got it right here. Yeah. Sister Myrah, we 2.5 hours in, and you just getting warmed up. You are forced to contend with Capricorn. I'm gonna tell you. You know, like what else you want to say?
When I start running off, man, I told Brother Rich, I said, Brother Rich, you got to stop me at some point, you know, because I'll run on and on and on and on.
Like a train in the night.
Yeah, because I got a whole universe of information to deliver, you know, so. You know, you got to stop me. You got to pull the plug.
And you know, you got to come back. Ooh, you know what? Maybe in January sometime.
My birthday.
I don't know what. Yeah, maybe
January 8th.
January 8th, that's a powerful sacred circle.
Yeah, his birthday.
His special acknowledgement, Lloyd Strayhorn, King Simon. I didn't know that was Noble Drew Ali.
You didn't know that was Noble Drew Ali's birthday? Yeah, January 8th.
Wow. When
I lived in Atlanta, you know, they was doing all their Noble Drew Ali celebrations on my birthday.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that.
And we kind of looked alike too. We had the same type of looks and, you know.
Indigenous.
Yes.
Home base. Yep.
Kind of small, dark skin.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This was great. This was so much fun. I like sitting back, you know, like just pulling, you know, throw a little fire, you know, like throw a little tobacco into the fire, let it burn.
That's why I told you. Let's just play it by ear. Let's just
because
I do better when you focus me. Otherwise, I'm all over the place. I'm out there everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
So I like to focus. I like when you focus me. You know,
I didn't know what I was doing. I knew I was getting thirsty. I didn't drink 4 cups of water up in here. I'm gonna drink some more too. Let me get some water. You drive somebody to drinking. Listen, y'all, family. Y'all gotta make sure y'all drink water when you have Sister Myrah. I'm gonna tell you, y'all got to drink water because she be spinning up the chakras. Eric, I don't know why you're talking about Telegram. I barely look at it. I don't look at no Telegram link. WhatsApp. Oh, let me just show the like, subscribe, and share info. real quick, to the channel. But I don't be looking at Telegram. I don't. WhatsApp. We got a WhatsApp group. Oh, let me see if I still have that up here. Yeah, you could tap in on the WhatsApp group. I am Magic 2025. We got to change that to 2026. Special acknowledgement to Nicholas Bookstore. Special acknowledgement to Cafunia. They've been having amazing events there.
Yes.
And I don't do no. Let's see. Double Drew Ali set. Oh, wait a second. Somebody said, what did they say here?
Double Drew Ali set, the son of what's that? Tauret.
Yeah, something like that.
Tauret.
Oh, do you have folks want to know if you have a Cash App?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Hold on. Let me put that in there.
Okay.
Banner. Enter a banner. Go ahead. What do I put? S for?
Yeah. You put the dollar
money.
sign.
Okay. Hold on.
The dollar sign, and then you put Myrah, MYRA, no H. That's my legal name.
I'm looking for that.
Told me to put the H because the H is the 8th letter of the alphabet, and I'm on an 8th path.
Cafunia, could you type that in for me? Because I can't find the S on my. There it is, right there.
Yeah, just do the dollar sign and then
dollar sign
MYRA, and then Moss, MOSS, MYRA, MOSS, and then the numbers 813.
Oh, okay. Hold on. 81813.
Yes.
Cash App.
Yes.
Thank you, Cafunia, for the reminder. Add banner.
And sometimes my Cash App has issues. It started with Brother Rich because too many people was trying to send, at the same time. And Cash App now got this funny little thing where they're only allowing you so many processes in so much time frame. So if there's problems with the Cash App, go to the Cash App first. If you want to donate, go to the Cash App first. And if you have trouble getting it through the Cash App, then just go to my website. There's also a donation button on my website. So if it doesn't work through Cash App, then that sistermyrah.com, go there and you can donate through that.
Okay. Excellent. All right, family. Any closing words before? Oh, Sister Myrah, I want you to hear this because you kind of inspired this. Seriously. Because we're indigenous to the land. Let me find this.
Indigenous to the land.
Yeah, here we go.
And it's the Americas, North and South America.
Yeah. Here we go.
My body. I am more than my emotions or negative thoughts. I am more than any limiting beliefs. I am that. Connected to one, my higher self. I am connected to the divine spirit in me. I am that oneness.
Beautiful.
That's our
Beautiful.
kin.
Yeah.
we already home, right?
Yes, I mean, exposure, the Leo, Aquarius and Leo, the sun is exposing everything that's been hidden, from the subconscious, from antiquity. All of that is now being exposed as we've come back full spiral. Spirit is spiral, goes around, comes around. And we are the energy beings because of our melanin. That's what gives us the fluidity with the universe. That's the substance of the universe. Mama universe is that melanin factor that gives us that harmony. Not only does melanin attract energy, it also gives us the ability to harmonize energy. So harmonizing energy with the universe, that's what steps us up as, the rulers, the true rulers of the universe. You see, the true rulers that are doing an operation here on Daughter Earth, for the evolution of creative powers, guarding against the abuse of power. Like you were saying, what's going to stop them from making us have babies at 80 years old? Because this is what the universe is guarding against, the abuse of power. That's the whole aim and the purpose of the universe, to guard against the abuse of power. It's time for us now to step up to a righteous humanitarian rulership as we're being passed the baton. Balance is the key to everything, the balance of opposites. So the ancient rulers, our ancestors, are now passing us the baton as the new age rulers to evolve from an abuse of power to a humanitarian empowerment. That's the bigger purpose that's going on here.
There's somebody, Sister Myra, Don Coolio. So what is Sister Myra taught? What is Sister Myra taught on prayer to the highest self and the ancestors at 3 a.m. every day?
Okay, wait a minute. I don't quite understand the question. What is it?
Yeah, it's kind of rough.
What is Sister Myra? What is taught on prayer to the highest self and the ancestors at 3 a.m. every day? I know that the number 3 is the number for magic, you see. And whenever you're dealing with threes, you're dealing with the magic of the universe. Like I told you, the third cross, the mutable cross, Gemini, third sign, opposite Sagittarius, the 9th sign, the vertical leg, then the 6th sign, Virgo, opposite the 12th sign, Pisces. They're dealing with the threes. That is always a magical number. So I can definitely see being up at 3 a.m. and, opening up. It's like a vortex. It's like the magic of the vortex. When you add 3, it's like you're opening up the magic. That's like a magical pipeline of a vortex where you have access, you see, to the higher or highest vibrations. There are 4 components of that royal family at its highest vibration, which represents the 4 family members through the 4 elements. The fire, the air element, the father component, righteous father spirit. His agenda is a collective righteous mindset. The air element, how you think. He talks to you through the mind. The father, righteous father spirit, the air element. Then also masculine and external is the fire element. That is the sun component. S-O-N at the individual physical level, S-U-N at the planetary level, the fire element, the sun, passions and desires, but the highest vibration creative powers. And then we go to the feminine. There's balance. There's a father, there has to be a mama. There's a son, there has to be a daughter. Now we're going internal to the feminine, earth and water. The water element is the mama component. Big mama, mama universe, mama soul, the mama of antiquity, mama love. That is the water element. And then last but not least is the earth element. That is the daughter component. It's not mother earth, it's daughter earth. It's mama universe and daughter earth. Earth deals with our values. Earth deals with our healing. Earth deals with our character, but the highest vibration of the earth element is security. You're being secure from within. Earth and water are internal. Earth is your security, water is your emotional happiness. Those are too big of a burden to put on anyone's shoulders outside of yourself. Remember, spirit moves inside out. So when you're secure in the value of what you feel, internal, earth and water, that is how you'll send that vibration out external, and it will reflect itself as air and fire or spiritual power. So those are the four highest components of vibration. Through those four aspects or four elements or those four family members: Father Spirit, the Son of Power, Mama Universe, and Daughter Earth. Those are the highest vibrations. And as high as you can raise your energy to those vibrations, the air element, the Father, is righteousness, righteous thinking. The fire element is the passion to defend righteousness. The sun, the water, the mama, is love and compassion. The water element, the mama component, and the earth is character, value, and healing. The earth element, the daughter component. So a full family. So Father Spirit, Son of Power, Mama Universe, and Daughter Earth. The four pistons in the engine. All four has to be harmonizing at their maximum in order to harmonize with each other and generate the power. You leave one out or one unequal, and you get a misfire. That's what we've been dealing with, because Daughter Earth has not come to the table until now. She's been unequal. She's been rejected in her value. And that is why we weren't whole. We weren't complete. And it wasn't real. It's not real until it's whole. Now that she's been redeemed in her value as daughter character, the daughter of integrity and character, now we are completed as a royal family. She brings the princess to the table, the complete royal family, which takes us to a star system level. And this is how we balance star systems. So this is the highest vibration of energy. Those are the range. Your individual balance with your own spirit coming to your individual wholeness all the way up to a star system level. That is the range. We can balance energy and ascend. And then from the individual, personal, physical, all the way up to that highest collective through those four aspects of those four elements, the full royal family of spiritual energy at its highest vibration. But I can see the three, magical. That's where the magic occurs. Third time the charm.
You know what? You just reminded me, when I was studying auto engine mechanics, it's 4 cycles in a combustion of the engine.
Yeah.
And mechanics say it's suck, that's the inhale; squeeze, that's the compression of the fuel; pop, that's the actual explosion.
Yes.
And then they say blow, suck, squeeze, pop, blow. And the blow is the exhaust going out of the engine.
Generate the power. Generator. This is not rocket science. It's just they've obscured and put so much deception and illusions and, lost us in details. We got to look at it holistic. We have to look at the bigger picture in order to see the real or see the whole. And we've been caught up in the negative polarity, which is the only way energy unfolds, to a negative and positive polarity. No pain, no gain. Same extent of pain will be the same extent of gain. One is just a reflection of the other. One is just the platform for the opposite equal response. So we've completed the physical half, the sacrifice and struggle half, the negative polarity at its 180-degree maximum. And now it's time to reflect opposite spiritual return at its 180-degree, which matches an equal reflection. The level we had to endure, the degradation, is to the same level it's going to reflect our liberation in an equal measure, but in opposite aspects, from a physical vessels of sacrifice and struggle now to, that spiritual, holistic, collective, full empowerment, you see. So this is the bigger story. This is a universal story. The bigger purpose being fulfilled and we're just the individual aspects of that. But only now, when we've gotten through half of the story, can we see the opposite reflection in order to see the whole, in order to see the real. Only now do we get to see the whole story. So when we were talking about generations, when we started with O.J. Simpson, you see, and how we were wounded when they first abandoned their women in that generation, and that abandonment continued, you see, all the way up until now, where it's time to redeem the value of these women. That was the ultimate abuse of the son, not seeing the equal value of his woman, thinking himself higher in his value than his woman, because the only way we evolve is when we come together in balance as equal, as yin and yang. That's where the evolution, that's where the vortex opens up at that 360-degree spiral. That opens a vortex, gives us access to the next level, where we start a new spiral at a higher vibration, only for access to the next. This is an infinite process of transformation, regeneration, for evolution of spiritual rulership. That is the bigger reality.
You know, you got me thinking. I don't know why two people came to mind now. Marvin Gaye loving his mama.
Yes, he
And
loved his mama. And his
and
mama
you
was a Capricorn like me. His mama's birthday was January the 1st.
and he was Aries.
Yes, he was Aries. I told you that, Aries and Taurus. Tammy Terrell was the Taurus. Aries, Marvin was the Aries, our ancestral couple, where we were first wounded. In the ancestral couple, the first connection between the fire and the earth, Aries and Taurus. The second level, Leo and Virgo, and the ultimate culmination, Sagittarius and Capricorn.
And then I thought about special acknowledgement to the spirit of
Who?
the Philly sound. The love I lost, Teddy
Oh,
Pendergrass.
yes. Oh, that was Marvin's nemesis.
Yeah, they had something going on there, right? Didn't they?
Yeah, well, Teddy didn't do right by Marvin. He was one of those that messed with his woman.
Wow.
Yeah, his wife had an affair with Teddy Pendergrass. Marvin's wife had an affair with Teddy Pendergrass.
You know who else I think had a really good sound? Was Mays, Frankie Beverly.
Oh,
and
yes,
Mays.
Frankie Beverly. Now, Marvin and Frankie Beverly were very good friends. Very good.
Wow.
He even did an honor to him, after his transition. Frankie Beverly did an honor to Marvin Gaye in a song. They were best friends, but his wife also messed around with Frankie Beverly. But I think
so. I heard.
Yeah, I think Marvin orchestrated that because
That's what I heard. That's what I remember reading about.
He was trying to find out, and he asked Frankie to do that. But Frankie was working with Marvin, not like Teddy. Teddy was just
Teddy was out there, boy.
Yeah,
I heard he was out there.
Yeah, he was just mean spirited. He was not, he was not apologetic at all. Where Frankie Beverly, he didn't do it. So,
and special acknowledgement to Smokey Robinson, the songs that I know he must have loved his mama.
I don't know that much about Smokey Robinson, but I loved his songs, especially growing up and stuff. But
God bless Sam Cooke.
We're great friends as well. So, and I became friends with Fred White, the drummer of Earth, Wind and Fire. We became real good friends. He became one of my clients, and he used to tell me a lot of good things about Marvin, because he knew him as well in LA when they lived in LA together. So he gave me a lot of insights on Marvin as well.
Yeah. So, I like what Black Magic Radiohead Rich says, the musicians are the magicians.
Yeah, those are our physical level agents, because the whole universe is about harmonizing energy vibrations. So they are the masters at harmonizing energy vibrations at ground level, at the physical level, and as much as they can lift their vibration at that harmonizing that energy. And then when they make their transition, they go up to that level. And now that energy starts coming back full spiral. Spirit is spiral. So whatever you send out,
I like that.
it's
I
going to
like that.
spiral back, you see. So
I like that. I'd rather be a spiral than a spirit.
but you have to understand it's a multitude of levels, you see. You get a different face in that same line of energy at a different level, you see. So a lot of people don't know how to connect where you're looking at the same energy, but at a different level. Yeah, like I said, you have the individual balance with your own spirit. You have a couple level, family level, community level, international level, global level. Then that's that 180-degree maximum before the next level is planetary, but that's on the spiritual side. And then the universal level, and then the star system level. So we're dealing with a multitude of levels.
Now, you got me thinking spiral. Then I start thinking the song
Spirit is spiral. Yeah.
Slinky. Remember what was it called?
Slinky, yeah. Yeah, come down the stairs, yeah.
Yep. Oh, he's spiritual, and you be going like that.
Same age bracket.
Yeah. That's what you got me thinking. Uh-huh.
You can tell we're in the same age bracket.
Yep, you got that right. Slinky, and you see the little springs bouncing, going down the steps. Yeah. This was fun. It was always a pleasure, Sister Myrah.
Same here, honey. Same here.
I want to thank you. Huh?
I love my family, and anytime I can, impart information that they can receive or that can be a valid value to them, then that is what goes through my heart, and I'm feeling that's what makes me feel good.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. I want to acknowledge Sister Diana Farr, because I am experiencing your Shakti as you rocking and working Kundalini polyrhythms.
Yeah.
It's radiating through everybody's phones and everything. And you got everybody past bedtime over here in the East Coast, Sister Myrah. Brother Panic, yeah.
Oh, yes. Everybody. I love my family. I tell you, I love them. It's wonderful that I'm being received. That is my reward, that I'm being received in that way.
And I want to acknowledge a very special Gemini. Boy, she can talk. She leaves me 15 and 20-minute voice messages. She's so sweet with her Gemini self. Kareen, I want to thank you just for being who you are. Gemini star. Sister.
Communicate.
You got a Gemini moon?
Yeah, that's where you channel. Your Gemini is where you channel. Like I told you about Prince, and see, Kendrick Lamar is Gemini. That's why he was channeling from those three fathers, you see. He channels as well. And Prince, he was a Gemini. And that's where that ritual where, the individual Prince of Power resurrecting into that Sagittarius, or the abundance of power. Gemini is the natural channeler. Wherever your Gemini is at, you got all the energy in you. Just look in your chart. It don't mean planets. I don't mean planets. I mean, you got what you call houses. And your houses is going to contain each one of those energies. It's 12 houses and 12 signs that rules each one of those houses in your chart. So you got all the energy in you, whether you have a planet in that energy or not. It's the houses that tell the story. So that gives you the whole story. So you got all the energy in you, and wherever it's at in your chart is where you have those attributes. Like wherever your Capricorn is at, that's where you've been rejected in your value, in the physical illusion. And when you redeem that value within yourself first, and then send it out, that's how you draw the value back from others. So, wherever your Capricorn is at is where you play the Cinderella role, where you've been rejected in your value. And when you redeem that value within yourself, that's how you gain the value back from others. So, you have all the energy in you. I have a Gemini moon.
Wow.
That means I channel from the moon, which is Mama, the closest planetary body of water. So I channel what Mama feels through the moon, the water, and then communicate it. Gemini is the sign of communication. Then I communicate it to the world.
Amazing. Amazing.
But
Thank
you guys,
you.
what's falling is falling. It's the Scorpio, the death of the old. Don't worry about what's going on in the world. That's the part that's falling. We're rising as a result of their fall. But you got to know that. You got to be secure in who you are, in your own value and self-worth. Be secure in who you are, in the larger role you're playing, in the larger scheme of things. You're participating in a universal purpose. You're being protected as long as you know you're being protected. So sit back. My thing is, I don't care. And I said this before. I don't care what chaos is raging right outside your window. You don't blink. You don't even flinch. Your lack of fear is your lamb's blood. The chaos will pass you over. Get you a bag of popcorn. Sit back, cross your legs, and watch the show.
That's what I was just thinking. Popcorn, hot buttered popcorn.
It's not about you. It's not about you, the part that's falling. If you believe it is, then it is.
Right.
If you believe they can get you, yes, they can get you. But if you know they can't touch you, they can't touch you. And that's what I will leave you with.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You did that. Did you even drink any water? 3 hours. You did 3 hours. Sister
my
Myrah.
Goodness. No, I didn't.
You got to hydrate or you're going to levitate or something.
I got my water sitting right here. But
yeah. This first time I'm checking out how you got the rhythm going with your Kundalini and your spoken word. You got me moving like that now. You got the whole audience rocking. Yep. We getting this. So I want to thank everyone. Big hugs to everyone. Big aura hugs, because Sister Myrah be giving aura hugs through the phones and through the laptops. That's what you be doing. You be doing aura hugs. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Definitely my pleasure.
All right. So with that being said,
love you, family.
yes. Night, y'all.
Good night.